All right. Welcome, everybody, to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the True North. This is your friend, Mr. BDA, and my co-host, King Bucho, will be right back. He'll be joining us in a couple of minutes. So thanks to everybody for joining us on this beautiful fall evening. Got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. The big fight, WBSS tournament final for the junior welterweight supremacy between two undefeated fighters, Regis Prograis, who is about 24-0 with 20 knockouts, Josh Taylor 15-0, 12 knockouts. Both guys young, in their prime, hard-hitting punchers, skilled, have fought some of the best, have reached the final now of this tournament, and the winner will be considered the best junior welterweight in the world. So before we get to that, let's get the business out of the way. If you want to continue the show, you want to keep it going, you want us to have success and continue to provide entertainment, you can do so by following us on Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube, click that like button, subscribe, and keep spreading the BDA gospel. What else? Yeah, so check us out on Twitter, check out the Discord. If you like what goes on in the chat room, you can always join the BDA Discord, which is where the whole ridiculousness of the BDA show is encapsulated. You don't need a show to continue the fun. You can always go on the Discord, so check that one out. And again, thanks to everybody for joining us. I see we have the BDA family already. Shepherd of Sons is in there. Shout out to Shepherd of Sons. Ness, now known as some Japanese characters, wacky Japanese characters. Blues Boxing, shout out to Blues Boxing. Seamus Carey, the Fight Scout, Box, BOKS. The Quags, Azzy, Triple JJJ, Cameron's in there, Gonzalo as well. The Quags, Saint Brit, Alan Domireki, shout out to Alan, The Punisher, Stack Those Bananas, official boxing scorecard as well in there. Lourdes Batista, ARP13, who else? David Abraham, and many more to come, I am sure. The Punisher says, yay, BDA left his president of the Ryan Garcia fan club duties to grace us with his presence. Well, today is election day as well here in Canada, so I am also sacrificing my Justin Trudeau club in order to be here with you fellas. I think we got Bucho on the line. Bucho, are you there?
Yep, yes, sir.
All right, welcome to the show, Bucho. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be opening up the phone lines, right?
Absolutely, and updating you on the Canadian federal elections.
Okay, nobody. I was joking
We're gonna
about.
see if Trudeau actually makes it to power again.
We got a bunch of Europeans and Filipinos and Americans in the chat room. You think they care about what's going on up here in
I think they care about
Canada?
Trudeau.
All right, well, listen.
The reign of terror must stop.
Saint Brit says, Mr. BDA, the leader of Antifa. All right, listen. Thank you guys again for joining us. Bucho, this Saturday, man, you know, people say, oh, boxing is dead. And we've certainly had a share of complaints here. Boxing is not the perfect sport. It's not that well organized when it comes to preventing corruption or getting the fights that we want. But, man, when they get something going, they get something going. We've had some sensational fights between top fighters in these past couple of weeks. And in this year, really. I mean, just look at the fights we've had this past 35 days. We had Spence versus Porter. We had Golovkin versus Deryachenko. We had Gvozdyk Beterbiev last week, and now we're getting the final of the WBSS Junior Welterweight Tournament between Taylor and Prograis, undefeated, all confident, power punching, quick hands, the whole enchilada, Bucho. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, does it?
It is a final, what a final should be.
All right, wait a minute. Are you going to start doing your Richard Schaefer impression this early on the show? No, come on. Bucho, I'm going to have to put a stop to this, man.
All right.
No, but seriously, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what? It's interesting because the last time I was on the show, it was for the preview for the fight between Gvozdyk and Beterbiev, and I think we even called it. We said that it wasn't going to be that entertaining. There was going to be a lot of feeling out between both guys.
Well, you said that, right?
I don't know if I said it. I don't remember, but I remember somebody said it.
You said Josh Taylor is going to wipe the floor with Prograis.
Right, but
maybe you didn't say wipe the floor, but you said it was going to be like an easy win for Taylor.
Yes.
One-sided.
But what I'm
You still
saying
believe
is
that?
that's what I'm saying is that that's me. But on paper, for most people, this is a 50-50 fight, and I'm not even sure of my prediction. I mean, if I were, I'd be betting on it. But what I'm trying to illustrate here, Bucho, is that this is just like Beterbiev Gvozdyk. This is a fight where most people don't know who to pick going in. Okay, and I don't know why right away you stepped in there attacking me, but the point is, it's gonna be a great fight on paper. It's a
Oh, okay,
compelling
because
fight.
I thought you were asking if it's going to be an exciting fight.
Well, even if
And
I said that it's not, you don't have to attack me right away. All right, Bucho. I know you're hopped up
trying
on
to make this
caffeine.
exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no, like those sports commentators.
Oh, okay. Speaking of that, Bucho. Speaking of that, before we get into the whole Taylor thing, I wanted to read you because I like Doug Fisher. I've been reading his mailbag. What? What?
Hold on. People already trying to get in and shit. Come on.
Okay, yeah. Give us a second, guys. Give us a second. Let's set up the show and then we'll invite you in. I was reading Doug Fisher's mailbag. I've been reading it for the past 15 years when he was on Max Boxing. I always enjoy reading it when I get some time off. So I was reading it and reading the comments that people were writing to him for Beterbiev Bostic, the aftermath of that fight. And somebody said, because we didn't see the interview. Remember the post-fight interview after the fight?
Oh
We
yeah.
walked away. So apparently, Max Kellerman, was making comments about Gvozdyk quitting. I don't know if you guys talked that on the last show about that on the last show. Uh, so this guy asks Doug Fisher. Hold on, let me put the just real quick. I know this doesn't have anything to do with the Beterbiev fight. I mean the Prograis fight and Taylor, but I just wanted to real quick. So this guy goes, "What did you make of the Max Kellerman interview? I was a fan, and he made some good points about Beterbiev's underrated boxing ability, but saying that Gvozdyk quit a few days after Patrick Day died, and a year where the sports safety is really coming into question. Come on, man. Gvozdyk was spent after the ninth, and watch the 10th. He threw everything, and he fought until he was beaten. Horrible on Kellerman's part to make those comments." So Doug Fisher responded by saying, "I like Kellerman, but I cringed when I heard him say that Gvozdyk quit. I was reaching for my remote to turn the volume down even before he uttered that nonsense because I knew it was coming once he made his obligatory reference to the Ward Kovler rematch and said Beterbiev was winning the story of the fight. But like Beterbiev against Gvozdyk, old Slappy Maxi beat me to the punch." And then he goes on to say, "I've got two theories on why he felt the need to say what he said." Speaking of Kellerman. One is that his idol, Andrew Ward, was talking about body language and capitulation on Gvozdyk's part all night, so he wanted to please his celebrated co-commentator, who can do no wrong by the way, by agreeing with those observations and reaching that conclusion. The other is that Kellerman is more of a general sports analyst than hardcore boxing insider these days, and I think the talking heads of the mainstream sports media are encouraged to, in quotations, move the needle by making outrageous or polarizing statements such as Kellerman's silly comment about track and field athletes and reevaluating Gennady Golovkin's legacy. Bucho, I agree with everything Doug Fisher said in that response. And he says, bottom line, you can't say a guy who gets up from two knockdowns, really
That's
three,
what I keep saying.
is then
I've also
say,
said. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
and is, well, yeah, that's about it. Like he's saying he didn't quit and that
No,
Kellerman was in the
like
wrong.
a guy who got up multiple times isn't a quitter. That's why the same thing I said about Anthony Joshua. He never quit. He was gassed. All right, fine, fair enough. He was gassed. Maybe he could have continued, but he would have got knocked down again. And so, what's the point? You know, it's
Yeah,
not like he didn't try. And
exactly. He did
so,
try. I mean, he
yeah, go
was
ahead.
throwing. I know we criticize his lack of inside fighting, his lack of combination punching, really. I mean, he had some good. The only combination Gvozdyk was throwing was a 1-2 left uppercut right hand, and that left uppercut was really just to set up the right hand. But he was trying with what little he had, in terms of punching power and in terms of weaponry. He was trying, and for Kellerman to say that he quit, he makes it sound as if he didn't try at all. Maybe he did quit. Maybe he did say, "Look, I've had enough, and I'm staying down." But he didn't. He kept getting back up until the ref stopped the fight. So, and I'm glad that the Dog Fisher pointed out why Kellerman was doing it and saying all that those things, all the criticism about Gvozdyk, and it was because his lover Andrew Ward was sitting right next to him. Yeah, by the way,
I mean,
Butcher, you need to
love's powerful, man. So.
yeah, you need to lower the volume just a tiny little bit on your microphone because
Tiny
you're
little
coming
bit
in coming in too hot.
too hot. Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
All right,
Better.
good, good. Yeah, it was because when you were raising your voice, it would be too hot. But
You're
now I think
raising your voice. Yeah. All right.
you're raising your voice to me. So go work in the 8th ward. Wipe some asses. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
shooting Oz references here, so if you guys don't know what the heck we're talking about. All right. Butcher, before we, you know what, how about we start, because we're going to be here for 2 hours. All right,
Okay.
and we're going to be
2
taking
hours.
focus. So how about we just start inviting everybody already? Everybody that wants in, doesn't matter.
Now
No
we're gonna
discrimination.
take phone calls right at some point. The thing is, guys, for the phone calls, what we should do maybe is set up a specific time when everybody calls in, if it's possible.
Yes.
So we could set this up in 45 minutes.
About 45 to an hour. Yeah.
Actually, I already started the phone lines.
All right.
uh, I will see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see. Wait, listen, worst case scenario, Butcher, you can pick it up another day with the phone calls.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's get everybody in here. Let's everybody that wants an invite, just get them in here.
All right.
Oh, I gotta do it, right?
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Okay, who do I invite first? I think McGregor wants one.
Well, Mark is going insane.
Okay, hold on a second.
Mine, get mine.
Where's
All right.
I can't see him on the.
He's messaging me. Oh, okay.
Okay,
He's called. Shit, I
can I
forgot.
call him and then or
Yeah.
okay? Here's what I'm gonna
Actually,
do.
call somebody else and then I'll send him a link.
Oh, okay. I'll get
We'll burn
Gonzalo
people
on
here.
here. I think Gonzalo. I think because I don't have. Oh shit. Okay. Whoopsie daisy. Okay. Okay. So I'm calling Gonzalo, and after that, we can send the invite because I don't know for some reason it's not on the list. Some names are missing in the. Anyway, listen. Long story short, uh, let's start talking about the Prograis Taylor matchup. Like I said, another 50-50 matchup coming in on paper, and yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I think it's at least. And all right, Bucho, did Bucho just disappear? Okay, Bucho's back, and all right, Gonzalo didn't answer, but now I can. Ah, jeez. All right, hold on a second. All right, I see McGregor was saying hello. Can you hear me, Bucho? He says he can't hear me. Oh boy. Testing, testing. Bucho, can you hear me? Bucho, can you hear me? He's not muted. McGregor, can you hear me? McGregor? McGregor? Oh, come on. Call me on the new Discord. On the new Discord? What's the new Discord? McGregor, can you hear me? Bucho says I can't hear shit. All right, maybe I'll have to rejoin. All right, fellas, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
McGregor, can you hear me?
I can hear you both.
Oh,
Perfect.
fantastic. All right, so okay, I don't know. I guess it was on my end. Now, Gonzalo is telling me I can't join you on the. I need to join you on the new Discord. Call me on the new
He
Discord.
has any Discord. I'll send the links now. I'll
What's
take care
the?
of everything.
Oh, okay, okay. I get what you. Okay, okay. So you send
He
it
has a new
to
account.
send it to Cameron. I think Cameron wants in too. Yeah, he says he wants in. All right, all right. McGregor, you there?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. All right, thank you for being on. Listen, like I was telling Bucho, man, this fight, another great fight, 50-50 on paper between undefeated fighters, just like Vosdik, Beterbiev. And now the question is, will it be a good fight? An entertaining fight?
Possibly.
Because we
It's
said that,
possible.
because most people thought that it was that the Beterbiev Vosdik fight was going to be a fight of the year candidate, and instead it turned out to be a more cerebral matchup. I mean, sure, there were some knockdowns in the end, but it wasn't quite fight of the year, not even a fight of the year candidate, in my mind. I don't know. I'd have to recheck all the other fight of the year candidates because maybe it was a boring year and it actually is a fight of the year candidate. But in terms of action, do you think this is going to have some drama?
Well, I thought Beterbiev Vojtic had quite a bit of drama. Thought it was quite a good fight. Thought it was one of the better fights this year. Not a fight of the year candidate, not top 5, but a top 15 fight for the year for sure. Out of everything I've watched. In terms of this fight, Taylor, he comes forward. He throws high and low. He's a combination puncher, and he can fight well going backwards. Regis, he tends to kind of rush forward, try to throw bombs, try to attack. try to be very powerful. But the other thing is, going backwards, he can be quite entertaining too off of the counter because of how explosive he is. I feel there's something in the air about this fight where we're going to see drama, and I think Taylor's going to get dropped in the fight. In all honesty, and I think he'll get up and he'll try and fight fire with fire. And I think for the first few rounds, we're not going to see the most entertaining fight. Maybe for the first 2 or 3 rounds where they feel each other out, but I think Regis might drop Taylor, and that's where it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, man, because Taylor, I'll tell you what, for a guy who's as tall as he is, at 140, for his division, obviously, he sometimes gives his height up. What I like about Taylor is at the same time one of his weaknesses is that he wants to stop guys. He's a power puncher. He's not content with just outboxing somebody. Case in point, the Baranchik fight, fighting the smaller, stronger man, and he fought him in his wheelhouse, trying to dig in those hooks, those beautiful uppercuts to the body. But that's how he gets caught. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him go down. At the same time, though, Prograis, though, he seems to, and I'll just say it right away, one of his biggest weaknesses is he tends to admire his work a little bit too much, especially in the mid distance. He'll throw 1-2 and he'll stay there for a split second. And Flanagan was countering him. But then again, Flanagan is a bit of a slapper on the inside. He was slapping with his left hand, with his right hook, but he still managed to cut Prograis. So I think both guys, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but would it be fair to say that both guys are very good punchers and have defensive liabilities? That it's possible we see both guys trading knockdowns.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Because I mean, Regis, like you said, he admires his work, but Taylor, he leaves his chin in the air when he's firing off combinations from mid-range, so he can be caught with vicious counters upstairs and downstairs. But if you put your guard up against Taylor, he's going to go down low on you, and if you switch, he's going to come up. But Prograis, he'll go through the guard because Taylor, he kind of keeps his arms kind of wide at mid-range and up close. So I can see both guys getting hurt badly in this fight.
Now, that's an interesting point here. Who did you think won the Baranchik-Taylor fight?
I think everybody thought Taylor won. It wasn't even close. It was like 4 or 5 rounds.
That wasn't a robbery. That wasn't close.
That wasn't close.
No.
I had Taylor winning by
9-3 at best for Baranchik.
Okay, because I remember what's Precise didn't he? I think he mentioned. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think he said that it was a closer fight than people saw. That was a very entertaining fight. That to me is a fight of the year candidate. I don't know why more people don't talk about that fight. Now, by the way, we got Cameron and we've got Gonzalo on the line, and I see Buchos putting the screen up there. I think he's gonna start taking predictions, writing them down. So, Cameron and Gonzalo, thank you for joining us, guys. Talking obviously about the Prograis versus Taylor fight, the final of the WBSS Junior Welterweight Tournament. It's going to be a great one. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yes, definitely. This is a really interesting fight. Both of these guys got above 80% KO percentage. Prograis 82, Taylor 80. Prograis good fighter with 24 fights. Taylor's only got 15. But you know, they both got good names on their resume. One thing that's interesting about this fight, I don't know if anybody has mentioned it, they're both left-handers. So, you know, what happens when two left-handers fight each other? It's not like, for example, a righty doesn't fight a righty, or a lefty can't fight a lefty. But it happens lesser, to where a righty will fight a lefty, and two righties will fight each other. But when you have two left-handers fighting each other, that doesn't occur that often. Mm-hmm. So that's just a little bit of something.
Well,
it might be like, yeah.
Well, just to that point, Gonzalo, Prograis has fought two left-handers in Indongo and Flanagan. I can't remember Josh Taylor fighting a world-class left-hander. Maybe I'm wrong. Any of you guys know if he ever fought a world-class southpaw before in the pro ranks?
Prograis or Taylor?
Taylor.
Taylor.
No.
Miguel Vasquez, is he right-handed? Well, I know he's awkward as hell.
Yeah, he's washed up. I know he's awkward.
But he's a right-hander, I think.
Yeah, he's a right-hander. I don't know. Tom Mary's for Baranchik, Postal. No, he's not a southpaw.
And if you mention Flanagan, well, that was maybe his most complicated fight, although he won clearly. But
Mhm.
I mean, he didn't look spectacular, right?
Yeah, talking about Prograis. Yeah, talking about Prograis. Flanagan, because people. I think I hope
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I hope I didn't
Correction.
ask.
Yes. Anyhow,
I hope I didn't ask the question in a erroneous fashion because I meant Josh Taylor. I think I said it correctly. I said Josh Taylor hasn't fought a world class output, and that Prograis has. Prograis has fought Flanagan and Indongo, and I'll tell you what, man. To that point, Gonzalo, to that point about southpaws fighting each other. Who would you guys think if the fight it becomes a distance fight, long range fight? Who do you think has the better jab?
I just want to quickly add something to what you said before we answer that. I don't actually
they
think Prograis
both.
fought.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead,
Gonzalo.
Cameron.
Hold on, Gonzalo. Go ahead, Cameron.
I got a delay or
Yeah, I think that. No. I
no.
heard you first. I think it was. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was going to say was Prograis hasn't actually fought, in my opinion, a world class southpaw. Basically, because the fact that Terry Flanagan moving up in weight didn't exactly have the best resume at lightweight. I know he had like 4 or 5 title defenses, but never fought an elite opponent at 135. Moved up to 140, never fought. I don't think he won a fight against a top guy before he fought Prograis, and he got thoroughly outboxed. Julius Ndongo, good fighter, but at the end of the day, he only caught Edward Troyanovsky cold in the first round, who, again, a guy that hasn't really won that many great fights. Then he beat Ricky Burns, who was washed up to unify the belt. So, to some extent, when you dissect it, I don't think Flanagan or Ndongo are world-class southpaws.
Hmm. Well, I mean, they're world class in the sense that they're top. Relative. I mean, yeah, okay. Flanagan is true. I forgot about that. That he was moving up from lightweight, but I mean, he's still a world class fighter. The point remains, Josh Taylor has not fought a world class southpaw, but he has overall. He does have the better opponents. He's beaten better opposition than Prograis has. So that leads me to my question: if it becomes a long range fight, who do you guys think has the advantage?
I think they both hit hard with their jabs, but obviously Taylor's has got longer range. Okay, he's 5'10" and a half, I believe, or 5'10",
Yeah.
longer range, and they both hit hard with it. I think Taylor, he's knocked out somebody, whether it was his first fights or not. He's knocked out somebody with the jab, another guy, and I think Prograis was doing a good job against Ndongo, and he was dropping him with the jab as well. So it's a matter of who gets the better range on that jab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so, man. I think well, McGregor, Cameron, what do you guys think?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You know who Prograis reminds me of? He reminds me of Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker was also a southpaw. He's got good defense to where he goes low, but I mean this is a Pernell with power, and he comes up and he spring loads his shots with his legs. As he comes low and slips and ducks a punch on the way up, he delivers them with power because he comes up with his legs, and that's very deceptive. The way he connected Carol Relic, he didn't even see that punch coming because he just got out of the way of a punch. But as he came up, he put his legs under the punch. He spring loaded his punch with his legs, and that's what he does. But at the same time, when you mentioned that he admires his work, yeah, he's the one that thinks he's a superstar here. So this is not a fight where you can give up that split second to admire what you're doing, because you run a risk of getting countered or hit back.
Well, I want to get to that, to the counter punching, and if there are any exchanges, who's going to have the advantage. When it comes to the jabs, most people would say, well, obviously Taylor has the advantage because he's the longer fighter, but I've never seen Josh Taylor really jab too much. If you watch his fights, he doesn't throw it out all that much. He mostly wants to fire off power shots, and like I said, oftentimes he'll get on the inside and unload on those wicked body shots of his. But when it comes to jabs, not really the best jabber in the world. Prograis, on the other hand, when he fought Flanagan, he was catching him with hard up jabs all night long. That being said, Gonzalo, Prograis has very good upper body movement, like you mentioned. He bends at the waist really good, and he can counter off of those angles that he creates pretty well. But he can still get hit. Flanagan, another southpaw, was hitting him with jabs. So maybe this is the fight where Taylor decides, you know what, I'm gonna box him. I'm gonna pull a little bit of a Barrera Hamed, and I'm gonna box the more unconventional fighter from the outside. What do you guys think about that? Would that be a good strategy, and can he pull it off?
When you mentioned that he gets hit, that's interesting because I was looking at some of Taylor's highlights. You said that he might not have the greatest jab, but he will set up his other punches behind the jab. You know, where he'll throw the jab and come right behind that punch with either a hook or a straight left hand, because he's a southpaw. But you know, he's got a lot of variety. I think his best punch is an uppercut. He knocked down O'Hara Davis with the right hook. He's taking guys out with the left hook. Like I said, he knocked out some guy with the jab. So like if Prograis tries to change the angles and do a little bit of different looks, he might get caught with any of Taylor's different punches, because he can throw all sorts of punches. That's what I was trying to say.
You're saying Taylor can throw all sorts of punches?
Yes, he can throw a right hook, he can throw a left hook, he can throw uppercut, he can throw the left cross. He got a power right jab.
Yeah, I agree, man.
So
I think
we're going to see the more cleaner work, the more patient fighter is going to be from Prograis. I think he's going to be more patient, more composed, picking his shots more. Probably going to see more sort of technical work from Prograis in this fight. I feel like we're going to see quite a patient Prograis before he starts picking up in the second half of the fight. That's what I feel we're going to see.
Well, I'll tell you something, man. Because we mentioned who can punch better with both hands, who has a better arsenal. When it comes to jabs, I've seen Prograis, like I said, out jab Terry Flanagan. But when it comes to, like Gonzalo said, the better variety of power punches, I will have to go with Taylor as well. This man can throw a mean right hook, a mean left uppercut with the left hand. You know, like I said, the right hooks. The jab's not that bad. The straight left, he can really drive it through as well behind a guy's guard or through a guy's guard. So when it comes to a better arsenal, it definitely goes to Taylor. But I've also seen Prograis, the Relic fight. I didn't really talk much about the Relic fight in the film analysis that we did over at BDA Live, but he did drop Kirill Relic with a left hand to the body. I think his body work isn't as snappy as Josh Taylor, but it is quite effective because he really does have some weird underrated power where when he goes to the body, you don't see him turning his hips on it, but evidently it has an effect because he broke the very tough Kirill Relic down with that. So, but Cameron, you keep saying, I think I saw you saying that in the chat, you don't think the Flanagan fight was a good win for Prograis?
Not really. I like to go off the basis of what they've done in the division, and I can't look at Flanagan's resume. He's not got a real good win in his whole career. He hasn't. He had some really poor title defenses, including Orlando Cruz, of all people, and then he moved up to 140, and he really did nothing there, and he's not really doing anything since. I don't think Flanagan is. Look, he won a world title, but just because you win, this is my opinion, just because you win a world title doesn't mean you're world class. And I think Flanagan's beat a fellow world class fighter to have the sort of stature of being a world class fighter. So for me, Flanagan isn't a win worth talking about. Good fighter, but he's not got any sort of wins that he can shout about. That's my own opinion.
Well, his best win is an injury to Zepeda in the fight that should have been called a no contest.
I agree. That should have. I think Zepeda, he popped his collarbone.
Yeah.
His collarbone.
Should have been a no contest. Like, that shit was terrible. And that's his best victory.
But
Zepeda.
That guy's also a southpaw. Two southpaws fighting each other.
Exactly. But you know what? Maybe Flanagan was so good that he made Cepeda pop his shoulder out. You guys ever think about that? I don't think so.
And also, talking about Prograis' win over Relic is actually quite underrated, because I actually feel like he won those fights with Burns and Barthélemy. I actually feel Relic was undefeated going into that Prograis fight. That's my opinion. I thought he beat Barthélemy and Burns. So I think that win over Relic's quite underrated.
Very good point. Very good point. And you guys are saying, well, Flanagan, his best win was popping, what's his name, Cepeda's collarbone. You guys are forgetting, he also beat Orlando Cruz So I don't think you guys. And he
Yeah,
also beat
You've
Magdalena's
got a
brother.
point, Mr. BDA.
I know I got a point. He also beat Magdalena's brother. I mean, look, listen. I'm not saying Flanagan's a top pound for pound guy, but he was a top lightweight, and what's his name? Prograis didn't handle him because he was a bigger the guy. He handled him because of his boxing skills, or thanks to his boxing
Right.
skills, rather.
Flanagan was a British world champion. That's what he was.
Yeah,
He was a British
that's
world
it.
champion.
Yeah,
All right.
that we
He's a
speak
tough
about
guy,
over
though.
it.
Tough as nails.
But at
We
least
speak
then,
about over it. Yeah, but Flanagan, that's all Flanagan's known for, like being tough. I mean, he literally he was literally just walking around flat-footed, one-dimensional, on a straight line against Prograis and just got beat up, basically.
He's got an engine. That's about it. An engine and being tough.
well, there you go. And he handled him. At least we know that the reason why I bring that win up is because at least we know that Prograis is above that type of fighter. And he showed he's a full level above that type of fighter. So now the question is, going into this Saturday's fight, will he be able to take out Josh Taylor or outbox him? I don't know if he can outbox him, though. I mean, well, maybe he can because
I think you could outbox him or stop him. I think he's got the potential to do both.
I think Prograis can outbox Taylor. I think too many people overrate how good of a boxer Taylor is and underrate how good of a boxer
That's a good
Prograis
point.
is.
I agree.
That's a good point.
I think Taylor's more the slugger and Prograis more the finesse boxer. And I think people, they're more focused on the opposite way around because they think Taylor's this world-class boxer. The dude doesn't really jab extremely well. And on the back foot, he's kind of clunky. He is a tremendous puncher going up and down, in terms of just shot selection. But he isn't an amazing boxer. Specifically, he's more of a cerebral attacker than an actual pure boxer. And Prograis, most of his knockouts, they can be going forward or backwards, and his feet are very underrated. I think he's got faster feet than Josh Taylor.
You know why people think?
agree.
Well, you know why people think Taylor is a better boxer because of his height. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, if you ask most people who's a better boxer, they're gonna say, "Oh, Taylor." But like you said, he's never really. The only fight where I really saw him use his boxing skills for most of the fight was against what's his name, that American dude that he beat in the first leg of this tournament.
Ryan Martin.
Ryan Martin. Yeah, and even then he didn't use his jab that much. He didn't use his jab much against Baranchik either, and against Postal, he was getting out jabbed. Now, some people say when I bring up the Postal fight, some people say, yeah, but okay, Bucho's saying that Postal is shot. Bucho, come into the show and tell us what the hell you're talking about.
He's not shot. Postal's
Yeah.
not shot.
Postal's not shot, and anyone who thinks so, come on. There's only two people who've beaten him. Taylor and
that's
Crawford.
Taylor.
And they're two
I
very
agree.
good ones.
I agree with what Mark's saying about I said it earlier on. I think that Prograis, we're going to see in this fight. I think you're going to see who the more sort of composed, patient boxer is, and I think we'll see that in Prograis. I think it'll be a cleaner work. I think you'll see Taylor looking to take more risks. Well, I think you'll see Prograis creating more openings himself of his own technical abilities. I think we'll see more from Prograis than Josh Taylor in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be pretty close, like a chess match, but with power to where, somebody might get dropped, and it probably will be Taylor, because I think Prograis hits a little harder, although Taylor hits hard as well.
You know what? I the only thing I will disagree with you guys is I do, like you guys are saying. I do agree. I think Prograis is the better boxer just because of that jab alone. He throws his jab against southpaws. Taylor doesn't. And some people say, yeah, but what's the point? Why do you bring Postal out jabbing him if Postal is a right-hander? But it's the same principle applies. If you're not moving your head all that much in a fight and getting hit with jabs, just because the other guy's a southpaw doesn't mean that all of a sudden, the different angle is not going to work. It is going to work. He will be susceptible to Prograis jabs. Now, the only thing I disagree on, I think if they get into a slugging match and if they start exchanging, I think Taylor has a tighter inside game and the better weapons. When Prograis starts exchanging on the inside, he tends to drop the opposite hand than the one he's using to punch, and I think it's gonna spell trouble for him if he starts slugging it out with Josh Taylor, especially to the body. I think I don't know what you guys think. Do you think Taylor has a better body work than Prograis?
I don't know, man. I mean, he took out Ndongo. I know Ndongo's not great, but he took out Ndongo with a body shot, didn't he, Prograis, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
both of these guys are going to hit really well to the body because they're left-handers and the left hands aligns to the right side of the body. And on the right side of the body, we have the liver. So all left-handers are good body punchers when they know how to punch to the body. But I think Taylor, he goes to both sides. He goes to the left and to the right with both hands.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
like you said, BDA Prograis. I think you said he don't have the snapper, the turn on his shots, but he goes down low to like where I was mentioning Sweet Pea Whitaker. But just think of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson used to spring load his punches with his legs. He used to put that power behind, coming up from the bottom, coming down, coming up. With the legs. So I think that's what he was able to do to Relic. He hit him as he ducked the punch. He got low and he came up, incorporating his offense with his defense.
Yeah, absolutely. He can punch off the angles that he creates. That's what I like about him. Very flashy, but effective when it comes to unloading his offense from those angles. Now, the thing is, like I said, if they start exchanging, I think Taylor has a bit of an advantage. But again, he also likes to slug it out a little bit too much, and Prograis is not a powder puff puncher in there. He can crack himself. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. I definitely can see both guys getting hurt and getting hurt. But which brings up the question: who hits harder? Because I mean, we've seen.
I think
Progress. No, sorry. Shit, I don't know.
I don't know. I've not been hit by either of them for one. I
think Prograis.
Punch
Prograis because.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would pay good money to see Cameron getting hit by Prograis and Taylor, just for him to be able to tell us who hits harder.
Don't quote me on this, but Taylor might be more active. He might throw more punches to where Prograis might conserve his energy more. And to like when they exchange, Taylor might be winning the exchanges on the inside, but Prograis might punch through his exchanges with lesser shots, but with like one or two shots to where he puts more starch behind those shots. That's why he might be a better puncher, harder puncher, because he throws less shots with more power on them as to compared to Taylor, he throws more often.
Right. Yeah, you mean more activity, more volume in there between the wider punches. I certainly think that's a possibility. But the question is, I know it's obviously none of us have ever been punched by either guy to be able to answer the question, but we can answer it or make an assumption by seeing the guys that they have stopped. And Prograis has, like I said, 20 knockouts out of 24 wins. He did drop Flanagan. Even though they went the distance, he managed to drop him and hurt him also. He didn't really manage to follow up on that attack, and that's how Flanagan was able to make it to the 12 rounds. That being said, Taylor has dropped tough guys. He dropped Postal with a huge left hand, and with the right hook, he dropped Baranchik. And that's what I really like about Taylor, or his feints. He feinted Baranchik with a left hand, switched to the right, and then boom, he uncorked that right hook. And Baranchik is built like a tank. I mean, this man, it looks like a block of stone. And Taylor was trying to stop him. Again, because of that, he got hit a little bit too often as well, but you can see he's got a bit of a mean streak inside of him. Taylor does. He's not a... I actually think he's the bad guy in this one, tell you the truth, because he's a bit of a dirty fighter. Prograis is more of a clean fighter. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Never thought about it.
Because
Me neither.
Taylor, if you watch his fights, he'll punch during the clinch. He'll try to lace his opponents. He'll control them by placing his left hand or his right hand rather on the back of the other guy's head and try to control him that way. He will also, I think he, no, actually no, he doesn't bump the shoulder, but I'm pretty sure he can if he wants to. And also I've seen him do some little tricks where he'll place his arm around the other fighter to try to spin him, or sometimes he will spin, by the way, and then hit with at the same time. So he has some, dirty tactics on the inside, a mean streak, like I said, because he also tries to go for the knockout. So, and Prograis, he sounds a little bit braggadocious sometimes, but I think even Taylor called it. He says, "You're faking it. You're faking that false confidence." Prograis, I think you guys are going to be surprised, but he actually strikes me as the more likable guy. He's definitely not a Broner or a Teofimo Lopez in there. And I like his old school methods too, by the way. He fancies himself a historian of boxing, and some of his training methods seem to reflect that. I mean, he hits the bag with those little everlast thin gloves, and he also runs. You guys are going to maybe, I don't know if you knew this, but he runs in boots, like the old timers used to do, running in construction boots. So evidently he's got good endurance with those legs. So I actually like the fella. I don't have anything against him, and I've never seen him be overly confident to the point where
So
it's
so
grating.
Taylor is more dirty.
Yes, and I think he's.
Okay,
You
so
look at his
I'm
eyes.
going for Prograis now.
You, you look at his eyes, Taylor's eyes. He's a bit of a whack job. You can tell. He even said it in the face-off between him and Prograis that he says he used to like to drink and go out with his friends and get into fights. I think he's the type of dude that
Yeah,
loves. Yeah.
yeah, I agree with all you said about him being a historian. I've noticed that, I read yeah, about that. And he likes to punch tires too, BDA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he likes to punch. You can make a punching bag out of tires to where you have to commit to punching the tire a certain way, and that helps up build up your wrists. And
Ah,
he's a likable guy. The only reason he speaks like that is I've been in that area of the United States where they're called I think Creoles, or it's like a Cajun background to have you seen the show The Alligator Hunters? They speak
no.
like that. A lot of people will think, oh, he's ghetto, but no, that's just the way they talk. That's how
Yeah,
you.
they used to be French, well, a French colony.
They were the ones that were kicked out of Acadie, right?
Yeah,
Arcadia? That's it.
Acadia,
Arcadia in English,
Acadie,
yeah.
yeah, Acadia.
Acadie. Very good song by the band, too. They wrote a song about Acadia. But listen, the point is this. Gonzalo, you got a good point there about hitting the bag of tires and with the wrist, because they actually asked him why you hit with those little gloves, and he said it's because it teaches you how to punch properly with the proper technique. Because most of the times, if you're punching with gloves, it's possible that you can hit, you can develop bad technique. Butcher, you know those gloves that I've got, the rival ones, uh, the
Yeah,
rather expensive ones.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
are designed to protect your hand and so that and they also last pretty long. But I remember the first time I put them on, I couldn't feel my knuckles hitting the bag, and I think that leads to the development of bad technique because you
Hmm.
need to be able to fit. And also, if you're not using those big ass gloves or whatever, you need to work more also on stabilizing the wrists on your own. That's why I also like to hit the back sometimes bare knuckle. Not as hard, obviously, as with the gloves, but it does develop and prevent you from developing that bad technique. So Prograis seems to be aware of all of these things. And you know what? This guy started out late his amateur career. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Taylor's actually, he went to the Olympics 2012. Prograis did make it to the Olympics. He started out boxing, I think, about 15 or 16. So you can tell why he's picked it up pretty rapidly, and it's because he's a smart dude when it comes to boxing. He seems to have good instincts, and I do think he studies boxing the way you're supposed to.
I also think he's incredibly humble and dedicated. Like, I really mean that. I was doing a bit of research into him, and just little stuff like it wasn't until his fifth fight that he actually got paid money, and it was a check for $1. That's the
Oh,
very yeah, a check for $1. He has it in his apartment, or in
jeez.
his house or whatever. It's literally laminated and framed. That was his first pay. The very first time I think he was on a card was on ESPN2 on the very undercard. I think that was his 10th pro fight. That was
Wow.
on Lou DeBella. Tank was on that card as well. This was on ESPN2. Taylor was headlining cards in the 7th pro fight. There's a way bigger difference between these two. Taylor was on national television doing 1 million views in the 7th fight because of his fans.
Mhm.
We just came up the hard way, the old school way, had to play his trade, get money in. Like, go onto all different types of shit bills. No one knew who the hell he was, and he climbed to be where he is now. And I can see him not wanting to go back. Whereas I feel like Taylor, he's kind of just taking it for granted because
Hmm.
he didn't have to struggle for this. And
But
I
but
know
but
people don't like to talk about the struggle, but with Regis, it's true. This kid was in, he was in Hurricane Katrina. He was homeless at the age of like what was it, 11? He was on like fucking what's it? He was on. He ended up going to Houston. He was on like shelter floors for like
Are
a
you about to
year.
cry, man?
No, I'm not about to shut up, you little
okay.
backpack bomber. I'll slap you.
No, but it's a good
No,
point,
it's
man.
just
It's a good point. I
it's
didn't
what
know that.
he's come through. And yesterday was his son's birthday.
Huh.
And he was saying, I'm going to do this for you, little buddy. I can't wait to have you over here in London. I miss you so much. He was at the Spurs game. When he was talking to the cameras, they said, what makes you think that you're going to win? And he said, because I want this more than anything. I don't hear fighters talk like that. He's the type of guy who I can, like, look at and say, you're the right type of fighter. You've got the old school method, you're hungry, you're framing $1 statements that you've made in your first check was for $1 in your fifth pro fight. You were fighting for free for your first 4 fights. You didn't get any notoriety until like your 14th, 15th fight. Josh Taylor had more followers on Twitter after 5 fights than Regis Prograis has now.
So Prograis has the X factor.
I'd say so, yeah. I'd say so.
We're playing dramatic music because McGregor was really going into it. Very good storytelling from McGregor. We should if we do a documentary series here on BDA, we should get McGregor to narrate it. But you know what?
Oh man, yeah, like a 24/7 thing. Yeah.
I didn't know that Prograis, that was very interesting because I didn't know that he really did struggle more than Taylor coming up. One thing I will say though, don't mistake that story and think that Taylor doesn't work hard because I mean you can tell. That's what the other thing about Taylor and Prograis. Prograis hasn't really been pushed in a fight because he's been pretty dominant. Taylor did have to push himself against Baranchik and against Postal. I thought Postal won about more than, in the first 6 rounds. I think he won most of those rounds. It was Taylor that had to come back and knock him, drop him and all that and push the fight to eke out the win. So don't think for a second, though, that Taylor does not know how to fight hard. I mean, this guy, I don't think he slacks off in the gym at all. But that being said, McGregor, you mentioned Prograis got paid $1 for his first fight. I know Ryan Garcia, the first time he started turning tricks, he made more than $1. And by the way, speaking of my favorite fighter, what happened? What?
Nothing. It's just I don't like talking about people after I've already mastered.
Oh, that was a good. Oh man! But speaking of all of this, of course. Now you know what? We'll do it later. Anyway, back to the fight. So it's interesting, guys. No, but yeah, it's interesting. They are both guys. I can think we can all agree that both guys have earned what they've had, and they've both gotten to the final not because of any politics in boxing, whatever. No, it's because they won their fights. They got to this point by themselves, and so
And it's good tournament, good final. Nobody dropped out. So yeah, it's a perfect final in my opinion. There's no asterisks or anything.
Oh, as well. Before this tournament started, the final that everybody predicted, that's the final we've got.
Exactly, yeah. Good point.
And it's the fight we all wanted, by the way. As soon as this was announced, everybody was like, we hope Taylor Prograis get to the final and them two fight each other. Because it's just something we all felt as fans. And I think it could be a culmination of a pound for pound fighter, whoever wins this, in all honesty.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If Taylor wins, he'd have Baranchik on his resume, he'd have Prograis on his resume, and he'd have Postal on his.
That's much better than Errol Spence, who had that unofficial loss when he crashed his Ferrari. So I do think that Taylor definitely has the great. He should be top 10 pound for pound. You could actually make an argument that he's top 10 right now. What do you think about that?
There's a question, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of people had Peterbiev take that top 10 spot this weekend has gone. So could he lose that spot to the winner of this fight this weekend?
This is my thinking, you guys. And I know he's going to be put behind these guys, number 3 in Jose Carlos Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
He's a unified champion also. I know we had the Muhammad Ali in the ring belt also in this unification title match. You know, you got a lot of more adornments on the line, trophies. But anyways, Ramirez, he's also a good fighter. We would have to wait probably for an undisputed fight to really start putting one of these guys in the pound for pound conversation, in my view.
I disagree just because his resume isn't as good as this tournament.
Yeah, look, I think the end of that, if I had it my way, and I think a lot of people would agree, after this fight this weekend, the natural fight everybody's going to want to see is Ramirez against Ramirez fight.
Mm-hmm.
But the shine is on this tournament because it's regarded as having the best fighters in the division. At the time, Ramirez, I think he only just won the WBC, and obviously he beat Hooker, fair enough. But at the end of the day, the winner of this fight is going to be regarded as number 1 for a reason. That's because it's the Super 8 tournament, so
Yeah, I think Imam. I'm just gonna say this real quick because I know we're not talking about this guy. Imam, Orozco, and Hooker. They're pretty good wins.
they are good
And
wins. But
Cepeda. It was a good fight.
they're
You
good
forgot
wins.
Zepeda, by the way.
They're good wins, but they're not on the same level as yeah, like a Baranchik, Relic, Postal. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like good wins. Then there's like good wins.
Like, I think
Now,
Baranchik and Postal are all better than all those fighters. I think
Yeah.
Postal would beat Hooker. I think he beats Zepeda. I think he beat Orozco. And I man.
I think Baranchik would as well.
fair enough.
Now, here's the thing, though. I mentioned, or we talked about Prograis starting it late compared to Josh Taylor. If they start getting to an exchange, or if they have to push each other to a place where their physicality is going to be tested, let's go back to that. Do you think Prograis has what it takes from a technical standpoint to go out of there unscathed?
No. But I think he has $1 on his wall that says he'll get through that. Through heart and grit and determination. He's been through struggles worse.
Well, I
He's
suppose
had hurricanes suck the life out of his family. His boots on the kitchen floor. Leaving
That's
his
the
home
thing.
with only 2 pairs of boots and 2 pairs of shorts. Hightailing this to
So-
Houston, homeless for over a year. Didn't start boxing until he was 15. The other guy giving everything on a plate.
Well, he wasn't giving
Sometimes
everything on the plate.
I think sometimes when you do a whole lot, you could put yourself at risk as well. Because look, for example, I'm just gonna bring this up. When somebody has like a real good 1-2, like the heavyweights, where that's effective and you stick to that plan, basically a jab and a right cross, and that's effective, well, keep doing that. What I'm trying to say, I just use that as an example. Look, Prograis likes to do a whole lot. He does like to change the angles. He goes low with his legs. He comes up. If he tries to do a whole lot against a guy in Taylor that punches well up and down as well to the body and uses uppercuts and a whole variety of, like you said, arsenal of punches, BDA, he can run into something by trying to do a whole lot. Basically, I'm not just saying stick to the 1-2, but find a method that works and don't try to get too cute and too fancy in there. Okay?
That's a very good point.
Because you're going to run into something. That's all I just want to say.
No, but it's a good point. I mean, if you're punching with your hands out, and McGregor, you said Taylor Prograis wasn't handed anything down, but like I mentioned before, neither was Taylor, and the evidence.
Taylor was headlining in his 5th fight on Channel 5 in front of 1 million people.
Right, but hasn't, the implication is being that he hasn't had it hard. He had to work and beat these guys controversy free in order to make it where he is right now.
But like when he was in his 5th, 6th, 7th fight, he hadn't beaten anybody.
I know, but hey, that's down to promotion. I mean, I understand
Taylor was on an undercard where a 1-0 tank got a TV spot before he did, and he was 9-0.
Well, hold on a second.
Yo.
Chris K just donated via the super chat. Shout out to Chris K, and he says, "Thanks for getting me worked up for the fight." Well, that's what we're here for. I don't know if anybody else is talking about this fight as much as we are when it comes to this episode. So sorry, McGregor. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I mean, Taylor, he was fighting in front of 1 million people. He was with Cyclone Promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Prograis didn't even have a promoter. He was getting $1 after his 5th fight.
Yeah, but I agree
Taylor
that
made 50 grand in his 2nd pro fight.
I agree that he had it harder, but that doesn't mean that Taylor didn't have to work hard for his. I mean, when
Very
you say
few people are in as good of a position as Taylor was from debut.
yeah, and how many people screw it up though? How many people screw up, don't get it to that point, even when handed something up? I mean, what I'm saying is
he still had to maintain it. Yeah, absolutely. But at the
Okay.
same point, he's had it a lot easier. You can take that for granted.
yeah, I didn't dispute that. What I'm saying is that let's not make it out to be as if Taylor, and I'm not saying you were saying that, but I'm just saying because some people could misconstrue that this fight, like that's why I'm so excited about this because both guys have earned what they've gotten. And I guess this all started because I asked the question: if it goes deep and they start to push each other, who has the better
Can
shot?
I answer that point, BDA? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you could just remember what you were saying before I cut you off, like right now, I just wanted to add something.
All right.
Like to that point that McGregor's making when they interviewed these guys, that the English guy, and he asked the two of them, which of you considers to be the superstar? Taylor said no, he was interested in just winning, while Prograis said, yeah, I think I'm the better fighter, but I also think that I'm the superstar. Anyways, sorry, BD.
Yeah, but what? So what are you trying to say with
Well,
that?
well, because you guys are mentioning who the mentality, who thinks he's the superstar. Well, Prograis said, I think I'm the better fighter, but I'm also the superstar. And like McGregor was saying, well, this guy had never had to earn anything, but in his mind, whether he was being honest or not, he said he wasn't fighting to become a superstar. He was just fighting because his mentality is of a fighter that wants to win. So I'm not too sure about the humbleness part.
Well,
I think yeah.
I think he's mostly saying that. I don't think he believes it, but he's just saying that because he's trying to make something out of this during the build up to the fight. But again, I don't see any what's the word I'm looking for here? Any real mean edge to what Prograis says compared to a guy like Bronner or Teofimo Lopez or Deontay Wilder who says he wants to murder somebody in the ring. And the other thing I like about the other reason why I sort of like Prograis is because I relate to his love for boxing. Because if you watch the Baranchik Taylor fight and even the Inoue Rodriguez fight, which was on the undercard of that one, he kept getting up when something exciting happened. You know, he kept getting up, and what you could see a look in his face that he was excited about what he was watching. Not like these other fighters that you see then, like the Charles, for example. They're in the crowd, they got sunglasses indoors, and they're acting like they're too cool for the room. They don't react to what goes on. Well, one of the Charles acts that way. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that he does seem to like boxing, and I don't see any overt braggadociousness on his part.
The word you're looking
Yeah,
for
me
was
neither.
What was the word I was looking for?
And I think
the word you were
I
looking
think
for
Taylor's
was
dedicated.
Hold on, Cameron. What was the word I was looking for?
you were looking for the word maliciousness, when you?
Yes, that's right. Thank you. I had a long Saturday night.
Gonzalo says something, and then we go to the predictions.
But hold on.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That's BDA. Go ahead.
McGregor, what are you saying in the comment section?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
Okay, because I don't. What does FFS mean?
For fuck's sake.
Oh, okay. Well, what did I say something wrong? What did I say?
Nothing.
All right. Listen, before we continue, man, we've got the Puerto Rican snake on the line. We got Recognize the Matrix. Recognize, are you there?
A Puerto Rican scorpion.
That's right.
The Puerto Rican pecan.
The Puerto Rican duck when it comes to the trivia tournament.
Oh.
You know?
Oh.
Come on,
Yo.
Cameron. I'm ready.
Yo,
Let's
you leave
go.
the Puerto Rican Tyson Fury alone. He's lingering.
He's a Puerto Rican Lucian Boot, more like.
No, Tyson Fury. McGregor was right the first time.
Hey, listen. As long as somebody calls you the Puerto Rican David Price, I think you're all good. Now, listen.
No. Don't ever call me that, please.
Recognize, we're talking about this big Saturday fight, junior welterweight supremacy between Regis Prograis and Taylor. Both undefeated, both power punchers, extremely confident going into this fight. How excited are you for this fight?
I'm very excited. Can't you tell?
Absolutely. Maybe you need Bucho to do the Schaefer. What's his impression?
Absolutely. No,
Absolutely.
I'm actually hyped for this fight. Yeah, for sure, man. So do I think he's gonna win?
Well, yeah, that's what Bucho says. Bucho wants us to get to the predictions right away. So let's
want
get
Prograis to win, but I'm probably leaning towards Taylor. Very 50-50 fight, man. I'm rooting for Prograis, and therefore I want him to win. I hope he wins. But
why are you rooting for Prograis, if I may ask?
Racist.
I just like him better.
Racist?
Because he's the same color as you, reckon?
Because he's got a better tan, you know.
Oh, he a brother.
No, I'm kidding, man.
Yo, he a brother. Anyway, the point is,
100% Dex finally fucking got to him.
Yeah,
no,
I think
you
so.
know what it is? My brothers like him. All right, so I got half brothers from my father's side, and their mom is from. She's she's that race. The
Oh, okay. So you've got
Creola.
half brothers who are like the pure bloods. I get you.
Right.
Creola.
I'm more of the half breed, and they're more of the.
Yeah, you're a mudblood. Voldemort's coming for you.
But anyway, so they like him a lot, and so they kind of prop him up, always talking about him, because they share some type of heritage. So I kind of like him too. I want him to win, but I don't think he's. Look, I think if this was in America, the fight's in the UK, right? So
London.
London, London. It's gonna be. He's used to that crowd. I have a feeling that Prograis might be a little overwhelmed. I mean, he talks the part, acts the part, but once he starts fighting this guy who's a big dude too, he's gonna get a little bit overwhelmed, and I think he's gonna lose. Yeah,
Interesting.
That's an interesting pick.
fast fighter. Both of them are pretty fast, pulling the trigger. I like the way Taylor does it a little bit better, so slight edge to him.
You know what? It's interesting that you bring up that point about the location, because I did mention earlier in the show that I think Taylor is the more, when it comes to dirty tactics and nefarious tactics, I think it's Taylor who's got the advantage here. The question then becomes, since he's fighting in the UK, will the referee allow him or give him more leeway when it comes to these tactics? And do you think it's going to make a big difference?
I mean, it could. Look, I've heard some people talk about, and I've seen it myself, how Beterbiev beat Volzdik, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was some dirty tactics on Beterbiev's part. Although I don't think that's the sole reason. Again, I'm not Volzdik in there. It could happen. So, like, to say somebody's going to pull off dirty tactics because of location and therefore they're going to know how to get away with it or whatever, that's pretty hard to predict because, I thought that Volzdik, for instance, would have been given the benefit of the doubt by the referee, but maybe the referee was just missing it. If you go back to that fight, and I've watched it 3 times now, but Beterbiev did a lot of dirty stuff. So whether it's intentional or not, I have no idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to go by that. I'm just going to say that Taylor looks to me to do things just a little bit better than Prograis. And he can get hit. Yes, this is boxing, so he's going to get hit. Sometimes he stands pretty tall when he's in the middle of an exchange. So I could see him getting hit, and he has to be careful because he could get hurt by Prograis. But I think that, the experience, too, of fighting in big crowds and some of the stuff that Mark brought up, I got to give him the slight edge.
When it comes to fighting in the trenches, that's what I've said. I do give Taylor the advantage in there because he's proven that he can do it.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right about that. Even though I still see opportunities for Prograis to capitalize on.
Absolutely.
Especially in exchanges when he's kind of fighting tall. He does it in 2 different ways. If you look at Taylor sometimes bends those knees, bangs it out with you. Sometimes he starts off upwards, banging it out with you. And Prograis's got to see that opportunity and hopefully crack him right in the chin.
Yeah, like we were saying before, I mean, Prograis, I think he's got heart based on the fact that he came up the hard way. Also, like Gonzalo was saying, he's got very good upper body movement. He bends at the waist pretty well, and he counters off of those angles. So he's definitely a problem on the inside, but sometimes that small edge, the fact that Taylor has gone through that baptism through fire, whereas Prograis hasn't, it leaves a question mark in there about whether Prograis can go at it toe-to-toe with Josh Taylor. I mean, maybe I'm biased here because I really do like a body puncher, and Taylor is a body puncher. Both hands, he works both sides of the body. I don't know. I guess we'll have to, maybe Prograis is going to surprise us because, again, he's a late starter when it comes to boxing, and the fact that he's gotten this far shows you that he's a smart guy and he's learning every day. So maybe at this point, 3 months, 4 months, whatever amount of time it's been between this fight and the last one, maybe he's improved substantially. Maybe he will getting the better of Taylor on the inside. Maybe he'll get the better of him on the outside too, because we're talking about that, how Prograis has a better jab than Taylor, even though Taylor's the longer guy.
Yeah, again, I think that's because, and you guys that watch him more, is it me or he's just what it is with Taylor? He's an elite brawler. So,
Yes.
well, those kind of guys, sometimes they go away from their jab.
But that's the thing we were agreeing on at the start of the show, is that I think it was McGregor who said he's essentially a slugger, and that's not to say that he's defensively irresponsible, but it does mean that he's more of a power. He wants to shoot those power shots. He does.
Yeah.
He's not content with staying on the outside. In fact, one of the things we were talking about before you got in here was that the fact that Taylor, despite his height and reach against most junior welterweights, despite those advantages, he rarely shoots that jab. Prograis, on the other hand, when he fought
because
Flanagan,
he's ready to brawl. That's why
exactly.
He's just
By the
ready
way,
to go.
By the way, one thing I wanted to mention here is I went to Josh Taylor's Instagram. First of all, I don't like this new Instagram feature where if you're not signed in and if you don't have an account, at a certain point, if you keep scrolling down somebody's account, a message appears saying, "Oh, now you need to sign up to continue watching." So how the hell am I going to stalk Ryan Garcia now that I have to sign up? I'm not
Yeah,
gonna do
that's
that.
a good point. How are you gonna stalk him?
I'm not gonna do that, man. And second of all, I know we were talking about on the Discord about girlfriends and all that. This appears to be Josh Taylor's girlfriend / wife, fiance, whatever. Yeah, I think I think they're married now. What do you guys think? Where are we at with Josh Taylor's significant other?
I haven't seen her.
Well, can you see it on the screen? I put it up on the screen on the YouTube stream.
It's on the BDA screen? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on.
Check it out.
Well, I can put it on the Discord too.
Yeah, she's alright. Like, I mean, she's
Okay.
she's a stereotypical UK girl.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It means that the only tan she can get comes from an orange pack of boots.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, Josh Taylor's done well there, in my opinion. But the problem is, she definitely hits the sunbed.
Ah, no, man, you can see the acne borns on her face. You can see them underneath the makeup. Like, you can see on the right cheek. Like, come on now, let's be real. Look, her name is Danielle Morphy.
Morphine?
Oh, man.
And here, look at her there. That dress, she's got Spanx under there. Look at her. It's being put, like, come on. And her hairline, he's got a better hairline. Far up that forehead goes on the far right of her head.
Man, McGregor's got some high standards. By the way, is it me
by
or
the way, look at how she's wider across the shoulders than she is. Look at those traps.
that's what I was going to say.
Are we not going to point out the one thing that's really bad about these photos, and that's Josh Taylor's fucking suit?
McGregor,
Yeah,
I respect your criticism of women. I really do.
Well, hold on. Like, one thing at a
Just
time.
saying.
First of all, one thing at a time. First of all, McGregor brought up the shoulders. She does have pretty big shoulders and traps, I should say. Her hands, though, that's the thing that I'm looking at her. She's got manly hands.
These
like
are no-nos.
Yeah, these are big. These are guys. Some of you out there might think we're being too harsh, too critical, but this is part of the game. You have to be careful out there. That's what we're trying to get.
Part and parcel of dating a UK boxer. Most of them beat up on women, so they need to develop a fight back.
Oh, now wait a minute. Also, Cameron, what were you going to say about the suit?
It's a terrible suit. I don't know what the
come
fuck's
off
going
it,
on
no,
there.
man. No, it's not. Listen, this is coming from a fucking Celt. That's a nice suit. This dude could be dressed full tartan with a skirt on. That's a step up.
People are saying that McGregor is into BB dollies.
I'm into anything that doesn't have a penis, and I'm unsure on that.
Well, Mark's into girls that call him daddy, and
Cameron,
all fucked up in the head.
It's true though, you know. Cameron actually has evidence to the prick.
Yeah, obviously, you know, it's all good. I mean, Mark has a lot of evidence of me saying some rocked up shit, but
we could bully each other's reputations tomorrow morning.
You know, I used to like girls calling me daddy until I had a daughter, and then I was like, nah.
That's a good point.
If a girl called me daddy in bed, I'll be doing a James Butler on them. Trust me.
Oh,
but they used to call me Poppy, you know, because I banged a lot of Spanish broads. So there's mostly
man. Incest is part of the Irish way.
I don't know what's worse: someone calling you daddy during sex, or the typical "I love you." message during sex. Like, both of them are fucking killers.
I've had them all.
Wait,
Look
who's
what's
putting-
on the screen, man.
Yeah, who's putting up that quote there? Is that Bucho putting up?
Bucho, I'll give you more if you want. I've got more.
I know who's doing that. I know who's doing it.
I've got more for you, Bucho. Hold on.
Bucho can't get over.
Can I confirm that this was actually photoshopped?
No,
No,
come
it
on. No,
wasn't
I was
Photoshopped.
there. I saw you write that real time. I saw you writing that real time. Come on.
Alright, hold on.
Just
By the
showing his
way-
missus has got the same sort of figure as my missus, so I don't think he's doing too bad, to be fair.
By the way, I'm gonna put up a clip here from I'm on Prograis Instagram now, and this is the clip that Gonzalo mentioned about hitting the tires, and with those small ass gloves, by the way, to really develop good punching technique. So, well, hold on a second. This isn't the clip.
Check your messages, Bucho.
No. Bucho, log off and go to sleep.
There's two for you, Bucho.
Oh, there we go. All right,
Tag
we
Ruger and shit.
all right. So I'm trying to watch this video here where he's hitting the tires, but I don't see the part. Anyway, I'm gonna screw this. I don't want to get a. Hey, come on. All right. So back to the fight, man. I mean, like I said, this is gonna be a good fight. But I'm a little skeptical though, because most people said, oh, the Gvozdyk Beterbiev fight, that's gonna be a fight of the year candidate. That's gonna be a war. And there was some drama, but I think Beterbiev, for the most part, was too dominant across the board for it to be considered that exciting. This one, I think it has a little bit more. I think both guys are even, almost even when it comes to power. Or am I wrong about that? What do you guys
No,
think?
you're
Punch?
right. You're right. On paper, you're right. Prograis got 82.33%, and Taylor's got 80%.
Yeah. Prograis kind of loads up a little bit more. Where
But hang on a minute.
Taylor kind of just lets it air. He just airs it out, bro.
Sure, if you put another fucking picture up, I'm gonna play Mark's orgasm on fucking live stream. So be careful.
Smash Mark.
Okay, what is? Cameron said, "Okay, guys, I got a 3-fighter shower in an hour." Oh, what is this?
Smash Mark.
Your
Listen,
messages are way less incriminating than you playing my thing. That could both of us done a revenge porn camera.
Hey, by the way-
I've got a free fighter show. That was the
I got a
No.
3-fighter shower.
Now, Cameron, the whole ass eating thing. Do you apply that to male lovers as well, or just to the women?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
SSB in the
No,
chat.
you know what, Cameron? You shouldn't
I'll
even
make
answer
you my
that.
personal bitch.
Bucho, can you put up that bizarre quote from Cameron where he says he likes to suck on guys' prostates, which was very bizarre.
I mean,
didn't
that was definitely Photoshop, but
That's
All right,
not
listen.
bizarre at this stage, to be honest.
You guys are bringing down the quality of the show,
I'd
man.
walk up to someone in the club and say, "I'll nibble on your urethra."
Ah, Jesus! Listen, you guys are bringing down the quality of the show, man. Come on, what are you doing?
let's talk some boxing, man. Let's talk a bit of fucking Ward Kovalev or something.
Now, did you guys? Because I think we've
The predictions,
running-
man. We need to write down the predictions.
Oh yes. Predictions. All right, prediction time.
Oh, now Bucho wants to be professional. Meanwhile, he's over here putting up all these dirty messages from Cameron.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Meanwhile, Burja's putting up messages of Cameron wanting like 3-fighter showers and saying,
All right, guys.
Bucho and Mark are working together to eliminate me and completely just ruin my reputation already. I didn't really have one anyway, but
What reputation? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can I give mine, Bucho?
Yeah,
No,
that's
No.
okay, but hold on. We got predictions incoming, guys. Come on, like predictions. Hold on. All right, let's do this. Prediction time, baby. Let's start with Gonzalo.
what is that noise?
Yes.
Mexican
Very
famous.
interesting fight. Very interesting fight. 50-50, two undefeated fighters, both left-handers with above 80% KO ratio.
That's
One's
right.
taller, one's shorter. I give the edge in power to Prograis just because, like Recognize was saying, he loads up on his shots, but he incorporates his offense to his defense where he can hide it. He slips a punch, and then he loads up on the punch. As he slipped, then he throws the shot with power. And I think Taylor's going to be more active or give the appearance of that Basically, if Prograis uses his defense to where Taylor's not scoring accurately, the judges will give him the work. But as far as the accurate, more harder shots, Prograis will land those. And in the end, so basically, one guy goes high and low with his defense, and Taylor goes high and low with his punches. The guy that adjusts better, and I think it's Taylor, is gonna do the better work or give the appearance of that. Because in the end, I think Prograis will land the harder, more accurate shots, but the judges are gonna give it to Taylor because he's more active, and I think he will hit the canvas once, but still, in the end, the judges will see it a draw. To decide the tournament final, they'll have to go to the fourth judge, and that guy will give it to Taylor on UK soil.
So you're saying Taylor by controversial decision?
By what?
Yeah, it's a draw. Then they go to the fourth judge for the first time in history.
Oh yeah. He keeps saying the fourth judge is gonna come into play.
The fourth judge. All right,
Yeah,
so
and that guy's gonna give it to Taylor.
all right, so Bucho, write that down. Taylor, controversial decision. Yeah, you were running fourth judge decision. What? All right, so that's that prediction. Who's next? Who wants to go next? Don't be shy.
I'll go.
All right.
I'm going to go with Taylor majority decision. It will be close all the way through, and I think they both knock each other down.
All right, so you went with you want to repeat that one because I'm trying to okay, recognize Taylor majority decision. All right.
Yeah.
That's
and
it.
There'll be a knockdown each.
Knockdown each. All right, fantastic. That's a pretty solid prediction as well. I'm liking what I'm reading so far from Gonzalo and Recognize. Who wants to go next? I think Cameron wants to go next.
Yeah, I've got Prograis winning majority decision. Similar, exactly the same sort of scenario to Recognise, but I just think Prograis will do the cleaner work. I think he'll be more patient. I think his technical ability will kind of shine through a bit more, and I think he'll take it.
Okay. Now, Recognize, are you planning on sacrificing a chicken in order to predict who wins this one, or are you just going to do it the old-fashioned way and just stick to your senses?
I'm sticking to my guns.
All right.
And then I might sacrifice a chicken so that Prograis wins. You know, it goes with his culture, so it's perfect.
Speaking of animals, I was listening to the last show this morning, just with kind of browsing, and I saw Precise sending videos of sheep getting born or something like that, or goats.
What
was that?
Nobody's gonna be able to explain what that's about.
No.
Okay.
At
Maybe
least he wanted to show us a live birth, and we're like, nah, man, that's too much.
Oh, yeah, I was going to tell.
You guys are a bunch
that
of
goat.
pussies.
That goat's gonna be good blood. I'm actually gonna go to Ecuador and drink some with him.
Oh, there you go. Bunch of vampires.
Some Illuminati shit. Let's be honest.
That's
Yes,
it.
of course it is.
All right. Let's go with McGregor. Prediction time.
At least Bucho got my name right, you racist. Right. I'm gonna go majority decision.
What the fuck is this music in the background?
That's fine. I'm gonna go with the majority decision. And I'm gonna go with it slightly controversially in favor of Josh Taylor.
Okay.
Josh Taylor. All right, that's okay. See, that's those.
You adjust my prediction after McGregor finishes.
I think he gets the decision. I think he gets dropped, but he wins a majority decision. One judge gives a draw, and he picks up the home decision because once again this is on a matchroom card, and they have been trying to Taylor because they know he's money in the UK. Taylor. He gets dropped and wins a majority decision.
That's interesting. So people are thinking. So you guys are saying that there's going to be some shenanigans.
Unless Taylor proves to be on a different level to what I see, it's gonna be an extremely close fight that people think will go either way at the end, and you'll have half the fans complaining.
That's right. But my Pucho, my prediction is not controversial. It's a draw, and basically the fourth judge gives it to Taylor, so it's a draw. That's what I had. So it's not controversial because that's why the fourth judge is there to decide. Ultimately, he will decide for Taylor.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting. So the Scot will come out victorious on this one because of shenanigans, right?
Guys, stop playing music, please.
Who's playing music? I thought that was you, Butch.
No.
McGregor, is that you?
Oh, it's recognize.
No, it was probably
Sorry, I
Gonzalo.
just got up and had to start dancing on the music.
Yeah, I imagined you dancing and wearing that skirt that you Scots wear. Well, you're Scottish, right? Now I'm kind of confused.
Listen here, you albino Mexican.
Oh,
Don't
What's the
call
matter
me
with-
Scottish.
you're what?
Don't call me Scottish.
What are you then? I thought it was double A and blunts. I thought he was Irish and you were Scottish.
Other way around, mate.
Are you so scared now?
Ah, geez. See, I got it wrong. I thought McGregor was Scottish. So whoever was playing that,
No,
Look,
you
stop
said
trying
it.
to put your
You are
new
right.
age
It's Scottish. You
transracial
ain't
shit
Scottish.
onto everybody else, yeah? Just
See,
because
that's-
you want to be a Canadian, right, doesn't mean the rest of us want to cross waters.
see, that's why
Yeah,
whoever was
he
playing.
is Scottish. You ain't Scottish.
See, that's why I thought whoever was playing the music, you got it wrong because that was Scottish music, and it
Yeah.
turns
You
out
wanna
that
go do this all
McGregor
night?
is. Was that?
If that was Scottish music, you two don't know how to tell the difference between Elam. That was Elam. It's
Yeah.
Irish music.
The only way they could have gotten it wrong, even more wrong, was if they would start playing like Arab music or something, some Egyptian or whatever. Listen, the point is this.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Alhamdulillah. Where's my soundbite here about the Allah Akbar? Anyway.
Shit flying in my mouth.
No, that's not it. Okay, so we got that prediction. You know what? I didn't make a prediction, but I'm going to go ahead for the Gvozdik Peterbiev one, but I'm going to go ahead and make it one now, right now. So, Bucho, get ready to write this one down, please. Josh Taylor, unanimous decision.
Okay.
Going with that one.
So
I was
everybody-
actually going to say...
I think outside of Cameron, we all watched.
Yeah, outside of Cameron. Cameron always tries to be the contrarian. All right, Bucho is saying Taylor split decision. Huh.
Listen, I had Spence split decision right, but Serbia 10th round TKO right. I'm gonna get this one right.
Which,
I wonder
which
what Vinnie Max is his prediction is.
He's got Wilder by KO.
Mhm.
he's got Wilder by KO, yeah.
Didn't he
100%.
pick Turbiev by knockout too?
No, he had Vodstick, didn't he, on decision?
No, I had Beterbiev.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I
I
mean-
got one right.
I've always said Vinnie Mac is like a broken clock. You know, it's gonna be right at least twice a day.
No, but here's the thing about Vinny. What he does is he picks whoever's betting the underdog on the betting slips.
He's a very ugly guy. He's the second ugliest.
Behind Mr. Usyk.
Again.
Kind of scary, guys. Could you imagine his eyes looking at you sitting on your car coming out of...
he really has a fear of Usyk.
I'd call the police, guys.
Mucho.
when-
Can
or
we still
when-
change the predictions if you do another show from here till Saturday?
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Johnny Boy.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? When Bucho asks Vinny a question, and then Vinny goes, "Is this Mr. BDA?" It's like, oh no. Or when,
Oh, Bucho. Sorry, Mr. Bucho.
I'm actually sorry for Mr. BDA. One's really easy to understand. BDA,
No,
you can,
Hey, Mark,
you can tell he's ethnic. What?
I'm trying to figure out why Vinnie Maxini gets confused with me and you because we don't sound anything alike.
Because we probably both sound faggot to him.
Yeah, it's true.
Jesus Christ.
Like, well, it's true. Listen to about me and Cameron. We both sound like two little fags over in the UK.
yeah, one sounds British, the other sounds Scottish. And Bucho, aren't you supposed to play the that clip there from Cameron when he was threatening Dead Game?
Oh yeah. Hold on.
What?
We're trying to pull up. By the way, 100% X is in the chat room saying BDA is a brother from another mama. I don't know about
That's
that.
right. That's right.
I didn't threaten dead game. Don't remember this.
Well, we're gonna pull it up. Don't worry about it. Alan Domireki says HI Vince picks whoever is the darker fighter. Bog says Vinny's voice is getting deeper every show. Pete says I'm sending Vada over there. Pete says also Cam is still pissed up from Saturday.
I'm sorry, Bar. I'm sorry. I'm
Hey,
4 days
BDA,
sorry.
can you hear me?
Yes. All right.
Can you hear? Oh, you can't hear the
No, we can't
soundboard?
hear that. No.
Ah.
Anyway.
I got it. Hold on.
You're a fucking ugly little cunt, mate. And if I ever see you, I'm gonna fucking slit your fucking face wide open, yeah?
Holy
You're a
shit!
fucking
Who's that?
angry little fucking spastic. Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt. You're boring.
He lost.
He lost it.
That's
He
not
lost
me,
it. Yeah.
for fuck's sake.
That was
I'll tell you
Cameron,
what,
man.
You
You
fat little
honestly
cunt.
think you're fucking
That's
funny.
right.
Seriously.
Cameron. Who
Oh,
are
man.
you talking to, Cameron?
He was
It's not
talking to
me,
Dead Game.
bro. Jeez.
What do you mean it's not true? Sounds exactly like you.
It does sound a bit like him. It sounds like Cameron and Steele mixed together.
Well, of course it sounds like Cameron. It's Cameron.
It sounds like Cameron is upset with somebody. He's like, I'll tell you what. Next time I see your face, I'm
You're
gonna
a
cut.
fucking ugly little cunt, mate. You're a
Oh, that clip is gold. The first time I heard it. Full disclosure. Yeah, full disclosure. What happened was that Dead Game had called in, and Bucho and Cameron were there. And I think Gonzalo too, and I forget who else was there. But then Dead Game said, "Hey, you guys Mexican, do you fuck with the chicken fighting? Y'all fuck with it?" And then Cameron said, "Wait a minute, I'm from England. Why the fuck are you asking me that for?" And then Bucho said, "No, we don't fuck with the chickens." And then Bucho started playing that clip, and I thought it was really Cameron. I thought it was really Cameron.
Did that game think it was really Cameron too?
He didn't. No, he didn't respond because I think the
Probably
line.
afraid. He's like,
Yeah,
oh
he
shit,
probably-
this guy's gonna cut my face.
Listen, you fucking little cunt. Bucho, play it last time, man.
One more time.
One more time. Come on, let's go.
Do you honestly think you're fucking funny? Seriously. You're a fucking ugly little cunt, mate. And if I ever see you, I'm gonna fucking slit your fucking face wide open, yeah? Angry little fucking spastic. Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt. Boring.
Oh, that is gold.
I like how they start things off with, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt.
It gets so aggressive. Like it's just like I'll tell you what, and then it's like I'm gonna slit your throat and everything.
I
Never
love
used
it.
the word spastic for once, so it's definitely not me.
I want to
Yes, you have.
recognize this intro.
I just want a retard.
That's me in the 90s.
That's in the nice.
Kellerman looks sick in that fucking video, and sick in a bad way.
Who?
Max Kellerman.
Oh, that was Max Kellerman. Oh, speaking of Max Kellerman,
Yeah, that the rap
Dude,
video.
do you ever hear him on ESPN when he does his little monologue by himself? Gets on there. Dude, he sets, like, if you watch ESPN, you don't really know boxing. He sets the narrative for every fighter. I think it's bullshit because it's like Max Kellerman is speaking from an ESPN American point of view. Like, why would you even listen to him?
well, you bring up a good point here because I think we'll get back to the whole Prograis thing if there's anything else left to say. But I wanted to I mentioned to Bucho somebody sent an email to Doug Fisher to his mailbag and Doug Fisher published it on Ring TV, and it was about the Peterviev Gvozdyk fight and how I didn't even hear it because I went to sleep right after the fight. But apparently Max Kellerman implied or said outright that he thought Gvozdyk quit in that fight. And here's what Doug Fisher said about that. He says, I like Kellerman, but I cringed when I heard him say that Gvozdyk quit. I was reaching for my remote to turn the volume down even before he uttered that nonsense because I knew it was coming once he made his obligatory reference to the Ward Kovler rematch and how he said that Peterviev was winning the story of the fight. But like Peterviev against Gvozdyk, old Slapsy Maxi beat me to the punch. And then he says, I've got two theories on why he felt the need to say what he said. One is that his idol Andrew Ward was talking about body language and capitulation on Gvozdyk's part all night. So he wanted to please his celebrated co-commentator, who can do no wrong, by the way. by agreeing with those observations and reaching that conclusion. The other is that Kellerman is more of a general sports analyst than a hardcore boxing insider these days, and I think that the talking heads of the mainstream sports media are encouraged to move the needle by making outrageous or polarizing statements such as Kellerman's silly comments about track and field athletes and reevaluating Gennady Golovkin's legacy. I completely agree with everything he said. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, sorry.
Wait, he was reevaluating Golovkin's legacy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that video too. He's saying basically Golovkin should be reevaluated, and basically he's not good. In other words, he was just an average good fighter.
That's bullshit.
Okay, because he lost to Canelo, supposedly.
Well, because in his mind, he also lost to Derevianchenko. And that
So
if
this
you
is
thought
after
he won that fight, you're crazy. Like, Timothy Bradley broke it down best. That was a very close fight, but I thought Derevianchenko won the fight. You know? Nothing wrong with that. But in
yeah,
Max
exactly.
Kellerman's mind, there's no
Yeah.
way you thought you could have had Golovkin winning that fight.
And then,
That's it.
not only that, but then he goes on to rear.
Right.
Man,
Right.
that's fucked.
Yeah.
You're the clown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's interesting that it's interesting
Listen,
you guys.
Max Kellerman comes from a certain tribe. This is what they do. They're in media. They set narratives. That's what they do by nature. Whether it's sports or real news shit.
Jewish.
I'm
Right.
putting up the I'm putting up the I'm putting up the disclaimer there.
Sorry about that, BDA.
That's all right. I put up the disclaimer. I think we're legally safe. That's
But
what
I did say tribe. I didn't say who.
exactly. That's a good point.
Also, he don't have the luxury of being ringside because they give him another gig to where he's like out in the back somewhere. He's not observing it from up close.
Maybe about the billions.
But it's interesting though because I was rewatching the Golovkin Canelo fight, the rematch, and man, he just did not want to give Golovkin any credit. I think at this point, Canelo's landing the harder shots. All right, I think at this point, Canelo is winning the story of the fight. It's like, shut up with that. He mentioned that so many times. I was getting flashbacks, man, about watching that shit live and just wanting to I don't know, just have him thrown out of the arena or something because it was nonstop. And now he's reevaluating. That's the thing that I think Doug Fisher called it when he said that he's no longer the boxing guy. Now he's a general sports guy, and he has to make up these things to be controversial. I think it's the producers too. His producers are encouraging him to, hey, listen, say something controversial. Kind of like the way Bucha does. What?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Why is he all over Andre Ward? Is that also part of the ESPN gig? Or that's just infatuation? That's something personal.
Yeah. He also said if Andre were to come back, that he'd favor him to beat all the light heavies.
Now think about that for a second. He's gonna favor a guy who hasn't fought in 3 years. Or going up 3 years.
Jesus Christ.
Over and an aging guy too. Over strong men like Beterbiev, good boxing skills, all around good boxing skills from Bivol, Vosdick, and I guess he's saying that he'll favor him over Kovalev as well. But, look, he might come back. If Canelo wins this fight, hook or crook, right? There's a good chance he's going to come back and fight Canelo. Very good chance. And Canelo's cool with that, win or lose. Because Andre Ward is celebrated as Andre Ward is being celebrated as this great American fighter, one of the greats. I mean, that's how they talk about him. Whether you agree with it or not, it's not the point. It's just that the man, he is celebrated as one of the greatest fighters in the last 30 years.
Doesn't Ward come back and fight Beterbiev?
Because he'll get the shit beat out of him and he knows it. That's why he vacated belts when he became manager.
Yeah,
exactly.
I agree with that.
Exactly.
And from what I've seen from Beterbiev versus Vosdick, and look, I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking him. but he showed some dirtiness in that fight. He will fuck Andre Ward up if Ward tries to hit him in the balls.
He
Yeah.
won't clinch the guy. I want to see Andre Ward try to clinch Beterbiev. That's gonna be fucking.
You're right.
He'll break him. He'll break Andre Ward. He will break him.
Serbiev's too strong, man. Too strong.
The Turbiev will kill Andre Ward. I actually think Andre Ward's a decent boxer. I don't mind him. He's I'm the few people out there who doesn't really
I
give
think
a
he's
shit.
a very good fighter, personally, Andre Ward. But the problem is, I don't think Andre Ward is great the way the media, American media, makes him out to be. No, I think he's a very good fighter.
No, he's a very good fighter. I mean, he's got one loss in his career. That was to Kovalev.
Correct.
But other than that,
And there's no shame in losing to a prime Sergey Kovalev.
He fought disgusting twice in my eyes. Well, actually, kind of 3 times. But I'm just gonna say 2 that really stand out. That was Kessler. What he did with him, that was terrible. And the second fight with Kovalev, and maybe you should check out the Bika fight too. See what
I think the best performance of his career was probably Carl.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Carl Frost.
Because he didn't even land. I don't think he landed a low dog shit out.
Kessler fight was fucking disgraceful.
Oh, it was unbelievable. He headbutted the dude like 40 times, hit him to the whacking him, giving him hand jobs left and right.
I put a tweet up the other day about Kellerman saying that Ward can come back and just beat all these like heavyweights, and I basically said he can't beat Beterbiev back even before he retired. And some fucking clowns were there saying that Ward's a once in a generation talent and that everybody fights dirty. And I thought there's a cheeky little what, and there's fucking Andre.
Hello, Cameron.
No, I'm more talking about the people who tweeted me back, not Kellerman. Like they were saying that Ward fights no different.
Yeah, we had a guy on the show say exactly that, Cameron, remember? I don't know if you were here. It was like months ago. We're talking about Andre Ward's dirtiness. He's like, well, everybody has fought dirty. Like, he started naming a bunch of fighters.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, but we never seen somebody. Well, I won't say never. I've never seen somebody use it as like prolific tactic. That's how I'm gonna beat you. I've seen guys use it in the sense where they're like, yeah, if I get myself like what Trinidad did. I'm a huge Trinidad fan, but what he did to Vargas was fucked up. That was fucked up. What he did to Vargas. He hit him. Vargas looked like he had him going, and he nut-shotted him.
Ugh.
Slow your ass down.
Beterbiev isn't clean either, man. He's a dirty ass fucker. Look at that vote. He could have been the squall. He could have been. He's too fucking strong to be rabbit punching that.
I think Vasic went to the hospital and he was there after like 2 days. He must be out. I'm not sure, but
No, he is.
He's
He has been released. He's cussed. He's been released. He's been declared okay.
He is. Dan Raphael posted an article today saying he got released.
Man, he spent more time in the hospital than Errol Spence did, and Errol Spence was in the car. Listen, the point is,
idea that Andre Ward doesn't have to come back to like heavyweight division because he already achieved like greatness. It's ridiculous. He actually needs to come back to actually create a proper ending to his career, because it's like, to me, it doesn't have the proper ending that people think it has.
Dude, can you imagine the American media was saying that he could possibly beat Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua?
I remember that, and I'm going to be perfectly honest. There were people saying in the UK that Andre Ward could possibly beat Anthony Joshua. They were actually saying that because they were trying to build up this possible fight.
We're here talking that he might not even beat Beterbiev, right? And all these other like heavyweights. And these other people are talking about him going up to heavyweight and beating the champions up there. This is insane.
Bro, Deontay Ward would put him in a morgue. He'd put him in a morgue.
I think even
Andre Ward didn't have good wins after his comeback. His best wins were the Super 6, and he, like Cameron was saying, he fought very dirty, and his best win in his comeback was against Kovalev, and he lost that one. So his best win could be the second one where he low-blowed him. I think his best win is from the Rocky movie, actually.
oh,
That's all he got knocked out by Tony Bellew.
Oh yeah, did he lose that one?
I'm not gonna let you guys talk bad about Ward that way. But it's
I'm
interesting.
not even gonna lie. I was watching that with one of my mates, and he's like, "Oh shit! Look, it's James DeGale."
Ah, jeez. Now, see, that's an
There you
insult
go.
right
There's
there.
UK boxing fans. Thought I'm pissed.
Not gonna have that. Not gonna have that. Not on this show. All right, here on this show we respect fighters. All right, and I'm not gonna
Hunker
have it.
Mossing in the chat saying Ward had said that he was going to win the heavyweight title before he retired.
Yeah, me bollocks.
Well, listen,
He
I don't
did
want.
say that.
I don't want
And
this
the-
to become.
Kellerman keeps this idea alive. Like he always brings up like as if Ward's going to make some sort of comeback. And he always leaves that idea planted there.
You listen to me. Max Kellerman's a cook.
Yeah,
I think we can agree.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a
That's
He favors.
He's a sellout. This guy is on the precipice of boxing. He's got the main channel and he's got a spotlight on ESPN. That's the number one watched TV show in the world for sports. In boxing, he's got the main seat. And what's he doing? Talking absolute bullshit, persuading boxing fans like all these corporate shills and ruining the sport and the fans on their way through with his fucking Jewish agenda.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait a minute.
Disclaimer.
Yeah,
All
let me put it up.
views by the panel do not express BDA.
There you go. I put it up there. So, yeah, just want to make that clear.
No, but it's true. It is true. This guy's been selling out from day dot. In
But
the
wait,
beginning, he was
wait.
okay when
McGregor, I gotta ask you,
White collar
what
music.
does? But McGregor, I gotta ask you, what? Like, you can say that he's got an agenda. I don't know why you have to bring up his religious background.
because it's a corporate Jewish agenda.
Oh,
Oh, don't say that.
Pucho,
Don't
let's.
say that.
We gotta put a
But
stop
it's
to this, man.
true.
We're gonna get shut
Well,
down.
it's a Zionist agenda.
Ah, shit! Recognize you're supposed to be helping here.
Sorry.
All right, but okay, but you know what?
Basically, what he
Look,
says.
two Jewish Mexicans are trying to censor me from.
Two
So I'll
Jewish
say it
Mexicans.
like this: it's very
Yes.
straightforward. If you
Uh-huh.
believe anything Max Kellerman is pushing as absolute gravy, you need to go and get yourself a side of meat and pour it all over, and then you drown yourself with it because you don't know shit about anything.
Well, can I say something to that point? It's interesting with Max Kellerman because I don't know if you guys remember where we had Jimmy on the show one time and we were all discussing Max Kellerman and how I mentioned the fact that when he was at ESPN Friday Night Fights around early 2000s, all of a sudden he jumped ship to Fox Sports, which they were a lot of boxing back then, and he got a position there, and they kicked. First of all, Al Bernstein used to be on ESPN, and they replaced him with Max Kellerman, a young nobody. I don't know where he comes in. They give him the job. A guy, Al Bernstein, who'd been covering boxing since I think the early '80s. All right, so they kick him out. They put Max Kellerman, the young, flashy guy, in there. Hold on a second. Okay, okay, hold on.
That's a great super chat. Well, I'll read it for you.
No.
I'll read it for you because I'm the panelist.
Yeah, please.
John Gonzalez, thank you for the contribution. He says, "Dirty Jews."
Oh, we're gonna get shut. Let me put the you know what? You guys know about the disclaimer. Hold on.
BDA Boxing talking. This is not BDA Boxing talking, all right?
That's right. Please, you guys want us
that's
to get
Unrivaled
shut.
Boxing Talking News.
All right. So let me just get back to what I was saying about Kellerman, please. And by the way, thanks I guess to John Gonzalez. The Kellerman, he used to be okay. So they kicked out Al Bernstein, right? And they replaced him with Kellerman, who was a nobody really in the boxing world. Then he jumps ship to Fox Sports, and they kick Rich Morata out of there. I think it was Rich Morata, the bald guy. And then all of a sudden, from Fox Sports, he jumps to HBO, and they were going to kick Larry Merchant out until people started complaining, and they decided to keep Larry Merchant around for a couple more years for him to share the spotlight with Max Kellerman. So how does a guy jump from ESPN to Fox Sports to HBO, like all these platforms, and now ESPN again? And Jimmy said that, well, it's quite simple. This guy's got a Hollywood promoter. I mean, not a promoter, Hollywood agent. And I said,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
And Hollywood is run by certain people.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like like McGregor was saying how Kellerman doesn't really, he's not authentic, he's not honest with his views. The other point to bring up to that is, you look at him, he wanted to be a rapper first. How much you want to bet before boxing even entered his mind as a career, he wanted to be a rapper. because that was the thing
course
going
he
on,
did.
right, in the early 90s. He probably had an uncle or somebody working there at the CAA or whatever, and he goes like, hey, I want to be a rapper, yo. I want to be a rapper. And they said, all right, let's make it happen. And then that didn't work out maybe, and he decided to go into boxing, and they said, oh, okay, you want to go into boxing? Great, we'll get you a spot on ESPN. Like, it just seems like everything came easy to him. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not saying that, but it seems that way.
Look, he's from New York, which is
Unfortunate.
the second Tel Aviv, right?
Oh,
And
jeez.
no, I just said Tel Aviv. That's what I said.
All right.
And if you want to know why New York has become a police state, you don't have to wonder no more, because you know they were getting their clocks turned off. But hey, look, what happened? What he just has the typical backing. That's all. That's what I'm gonna say. The typical backing
All right. Now,
to
listen.
let him explore everything, give him every. He's really not good of an analyst, a boxing analyst. Not because I don't agree with him, because he's talking to you about something else.
He ain't a historian.
Right.
Yeah, well, he knows he's no.
No,
Like,
he does. History. I've seen him get shit wrong all the time.
Huh.
Yeah, but that's because you get Asperger's and you remember all that shit. Like, and nobody can really remember as much as
I
you
do
guys.
have Asperger's. What's your point?
Well, the point is that Max Kellerman does know his history, but listen, that's not the point. The point is this: Max Kellerman, like I agree with Recognize, he's not even that good of an analyst. Remember when he was doing I think it was the Mayweather Pacquiao build up, or I think it was the Marcus Pacquiao 4 build up, and all he kept talking about was who's gonna have the lead foot outside. That's all he kept bringing up. It's like it seems like it was somebody told him that, maybe Roy Jones or somebody, and that's all he
Probably.
Yeah, that's all he stuck with. Like that was his insight into the fight. The lead foot, that's gonna be the main thing. I'm thinking, all right, really, man, Max? I mean,
The lead foot. Like
Yeah.
you can't offset the lead foot. Like he doesn't know nothing.
exactly.
And his bias. Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead, Rick. Next.
No, that's it. He doesn't know nothing about boxing, how to break down a fight.
Always remember, when you're fighting a southpaw, to stay on the back of his foot. Fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard.
And his bias, he favors the fast twitch muscle guys. Basically the American style. I don't know, just guys with fast twitch muscles.
Bro, he says things he doesn't even understand.
Like what?
Like what?
Hold on.
And harmony.
Hold on, McGregor, you cut off.
hold on, McGregor, you cut off.
Okay, now I'm hearing echo here. What's going
Now
on?
I'm hearing echo here. What's going
It's not me.
All right, hold on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right.
He was gonna say.
Okay, so McGregor, you want to repeat what you said, because you broke up. I didn't hear what you said.
I was just saying, when it comes to Max, yeah, the dude doesn't even know what he's talking about. Like, even word-wise, he's using words incorrectly in sentences. I've heard him use the term bifocal to describe listening. Bifocal lenses, vision, to describe listening to things through bifocal spectrums.
Okay.
He doesn't understand jack shit. He just read these words about when he was 12, 13 years old, kind of memorized them because he wanted to be a lyricist for Bone Thugs and Harmony, and he ended up getting absolutely disgraced by his own family because they were just like, you're not allowed to do that, you need to get a real job. So he went and tried to get a real job, but shilling out like the rest of his family.
But wait. Do you know that for a fact? Because I'm interested in that. Did his family disown him for trying to be a rapper?
Oh no, I would just assume based on his religious.
Oh, okay. Well, because I
Y'all
assumed.
talking about me?
Oh, we got Revolucion on the line.
Talking about some failed rapper? Who?
No,
You're the perfect person to ask about this.
Yeah, I got summoned. I have no idea what's going on. Bucho sent me a link. What's up?
Wait a minute, McGregor. Are you saying that he's a perfect? Revolucion, are you part of the tribe? Because everybody knows I'm transracial. I can talk about this, but how about you? Are you
I fucked one of them once. She could
All
fuck.
Revolution's
They're subservient in the bed. And hey, yo, them Jewish girls are subservient in the bed, man. They like to please. They're very.
Listen. Revolution is an exiled member of the Arab.
I wouldn't go that far, but
you know, I think according to the Torah and the Talmud, if you would have had a kid with one of them, that just makes them automatic part of the tribe, regardless of what you are.
So I get drawn into it. Okay.
No. You have nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay. The kid
He
does
didn't
that.
complete initiation. He ran out at the.
All right, listen, fellas.
I am circumcised. I don't know if that make a difference.
I am getting very uncomfortable.
They didn't do a whole thing about it. It just happened.
You didn't have a
I
rabbi.
can't trust any person. Listen,
Yeah. No rabbi did nothing to me. All right, none of that.
He didn't suck on your.
He didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't trust the religious views of anybody who says.
Oh, you see, he went quiet. He went quiet right there.
I think we should get off this subject before they come
Before
get
I
us.
get the channel banned.
I don't think we're on the air, by the way. I think we already
Yeah,
got
they
shot
cut
down.
us off.
So
Yeah.
wait. What are you guys talking
No,
about?
you're on there. You're on there. I just checked on my phone.
Now we're talking about Max Kellerman and how he seemed to have it. I gotta emphasize that he seemed to have it easy coming up, getting all these opportunities to work in the entertainment business, particularly the sports side of it. So that's what we're talking about. And then the fellas here started to get it a little bit too rambunctious with their comments. They started to go a little storm front on us. So I had to strain them out. Essentially, that's what I did.
What's wrong with Stormfront? Daily Stormer.
BDA, and I also seen some ES News interviews where everybody wants to kiss his ass, and like Max Kellerman, can I carry your coat? Max, what do you need? I'm about to check out, and Max is just like he's like the big personality against his coworkers around his coworkers.
He's like the hot chick in a video game convention. Everybody's like, "Hey, can I carry your coat? You know, can I wash your feet with my tongue? This and that." I mean, that's what it seems like, right, Gonzalo?
That's right. Might be going to his.
Yeah, that seems to me. Anyway, listen, I didn't want to harp too much on Max Kellerman because again, I don't think he's a bad guy. Well, maybe you guys disagree with me. Maybe you do think he's a bad guy.
No, I don't think he's a bad person. I've met him before, and I told you that he used to do public access channel on Manhattan where he would talk boxing. So I actually kind of respect him. This is like in the early 90s, something like that. Yeah, he used to have a little public access channel talking boxing, and he would have a call-in show. You could call in and you could speak to him about him. And he was pretty cool. But he has, whether it's just something that he was taught, he talks with an agenda. Like that's what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even just boxing, it's with everything else. When he's talking sports, he wants to throw in his point of views, thinking that he sounds cool. And, a lot of times he'll have people that he's trying to defend. He looks like he's trying to defend. Tell him, like, no, I don't agree with you.
But you know
like,
what?
No, I don't agree with that.
That's the world. I'm not justifying it, but I'm explaining. That's the world of those sports guys there. That they have to create some controversy. They have to act like this is the most important subject in the world, and if you say something that they disagree with, they go, whoa, 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 they start going nuts. It's like there's a guy in I think it's in ESPN Deportes, the Spanish version. Bucho, you're gonna have to help me out with this because I don't know exactly the guy's name, but I think is it Faitelson? The guy that's always after Canelo's balls.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the guy. Faitelson. Yeah, he's always criticizing Canelo. After every fight, he goes, but Canelo's not doing this. Canelo's not doing that. And he even tweeted out saying, how come Canelo doesn't want the third Golovkin fight? And then in parentheses, he puts, because of fear. And then Canelo went nuts, and he said, I don't want to repeat what he said, but in to paraphrase what he said that the only dick that he could endure was his dick. And then Faitelson tried to act all indignant, like, oh, that's not how a champion is supposed to conduct himself. But he was clearly baiting Canelo on Twitter. So I'm thinking, to my point is that's all these ESPN guys do, these sports analysts. Like, they have to create some controversy because their producers tell them, hey, listen, this is how you get ratings. It's the same thing on the YouTube community, boxing community, with these people that come up with these videos, with controversial titles like, Ryan Garcia is a fag, which he's not. And, so I gotta defend guys. And by the way, I didn't say, the F word as in slur. I meant that as the way the British people from the YouTube community do. So all I'm trying to say,
cigarette.
Exactly. He called him a cigarette, weak and
Actually,
addictive.
no, he didn't. He called him a bundle of sticks because he's so wooden.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute.
Like
Wait a
that,
minute.
like that Faitelson
As in
character
wooden
you're
for
talking
the
about,
erection
BDA.
Mr. BDA has from.
Oh, whoa,
He
whoa.
he got punched by a soccer player in Cuauhtemoc Blanco, a Mexican from the
Oh
soccer
yeah,
team.
yeah.
And
I saw that.
and
Nobody punched
but
him.
over here you'd probably get sued. Yeah, that's all.
Faitelson is from a Middle Eastern country. Well, he's
Oh, boy.
descended.
Which one?
Who's
The
this?
guys keep mentioning there. I don't want to mention it, but Faitelson, yeah, he's a Mexican slash that.
By the way, Pop Tart in the chat room says it's called the Hegelian dialectic. That's exactly what they do all over the mainstream media, not just in sports, but all over. They tell you they come up with the problem because the solution is something that they already want to implement. So what they do is they create the problem and then they bring up the solution and go, "Well, this is the only way that it can be done." Thesis, antithesis, and what's the other one, Bucho?
Thesis, antithesis.
Did I say thesis? Anyway, well, you know what the fuck I'm trying to say here.
And then
Point
you're gonna
is,
Don't open up the phone lines.
that's gonna lead you to communism.
oh, now wait a minute. What did you say, McGregor?
Who's the black guy that was criticizing Andy Ruiz a lot that had it all wrong?
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, that.
Oh
dude,
no,
man.
no, we're not starting with that. We're not starting with that fucking thing. That creature. I can't stand that creature.
Okay, so
Him
you know
and Skip Bayless are the
basketball.
same thing in two different sets of skin.
Basketball is his main thing, right? He covers mainly basketball because that's his expertise.
No, it's
Now-
not. I've listened to him talk about basketball. I don't even watch it. And
So he went after this basketball player, a big star, Kevin Durant. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, right?
yeah.
So Kevin Durant contradicted something he said, and he said it actually because look, like I'm thinking that he's getting tired of Stephen A. Smith shit, and he basically did the you don't know shit about basketball in this case, right? So Stephen A. Smith gets on his show, and starts what I can only take as threatening Kevin Durant. And I'm like, this is unprofessional. The man just said, you don't know shit. You don't know what you're talking about. That's all he said. All right. Oh, then he responds by, you don't know who I know in the industry. Well, the industry that I know and the people that I know. You sure you want that battle? I'm like, motherfucker, what are you saying? You're a nobody. You're the creepy motherfucker following him. He's the basketball player, not you. And it's like nobody called him out for this. I'm like, I know he got some shit on Twitter, that's for sure. But it's like, dude, you're a nobody. You cover him, not the other way around.
Stephen A. Smith said Teddy Atlas should be fired and should never work in sport again because he called out Adelaide board on our non.
He called what?
Teddy Atlas called out Adelaide board on a nonsense with the 118 1 score, right? And Stephen A. Smith said Teddy Atlas, he's my friend, he's a good man, but he shouldn't be allowed to work in sports again.
He
Are
said,
you serious?
I never knew he
because
said that.
someone
What
has
a
the
little
ball,
cunt.
because someone has the absolute fucking balls to speak out against absolute corruption. Shill.
Hey, I got a question.
We
Who's
got
the
the Revolution, by the way.
That's some fucking pussy shit by Stephen A. Smith. Man. That's like some like Antifa leftist. Oh, I'm gonna get you fired from your job. Like, why are you gonna make comments?
Right.
I'm your friend, someone,
you should be sacked.
and you preface it with, listen, I admire Teddy Atlas and this and this, but fuck him, he should be out of work. He should be working flipping burgers.
You know, he tried to do the same thing with Kevin Durant in more words that, in a few, and instead of saying it directly, he said it in a few words, trying to go around it. The problem that he faced there was he was told by NBA players, you come after Kevin Durant, we won't fucking take an interview. That's it. We won't take no interviews from you. You won't get no interviews from LeBron James, who's a fucking whack job, and all the other guys, because they kind of like stuck together on that one. Like maybe they don't all like Kevin Durant, but they were like, wait a second, he's gonna come after Durant like that because Durant just basically say he doesn't know shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Isn't Durant the dude who's like a really good player who got himself injured going into the?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him.
All right, listen,
Like
fellas.
You know what it is? It's like, you know how you could call your own brother an idiot, but if somebody else calls your brother an idiot, you're like, nuh-uh, fuck you. That's my family.
Dude, he called Kevin Durant a coward for joining. Look, whether you agree or not, he joined a stacked team that pretty much got him a ring every year. I mean, this team was doing it without him. So imagine with him. You know what I'm saying? So
okay, and also it's like
Stephen A's a coward.
Yeah, and he's a fucking reporter. You know, they got to stand up against him. You know, it's two different realms.
Yeah, I wanted to ask something.
Stay in your fucking lane.
I wanted to ask something before, because we got to go soon. We were halfway past the 2 hour mark, but I wanted to ask something. We were talking about, you guys are talking about Stephen A. Smith. We're talking about Kellerman, all these sports analysts that have to create controversy. Who's that version of that for boxing in the UK?
Oh God, all of them.
What's Steve Bonds? Oh, what's his name?
Bunchi.
I'll be honest, Steve Bonds ain't as bad as some of the sports. Like, I'll be honest with you, the worst one I've seen, Johnny Nelson.
Because of the
I
night
believe 1000% Anthony Joshua is gonna beat Ruiz in the rematch. Are you sure? 1000% doesn't even exist. Tony Bellew had a tougher growing up life than Alexander Usyk because he grew up in a council estate. Are you serious? In Liverpool? Oh, his family was on welfare. He had a tougher life than Usyk. This chap had to leave because of the Crimea War.
Well, there you
go. I don't mean to be laughing at war, but when you put it that way.
Johnny Nelson's ridiculous. I'm telling you, battered onion rings, Frotch as well. This dude with fucking 10-10 scorecard. And Matthew Macklin as well. That dude's an MTK corporate shill to the fucking Keenans.
By the way, H Money created another account and he's back on the chat, and he says Errol Spence is a drunk. I gotta tell you, H Money.
A bunch of videos about the car crash.
We finally saw H Money, by the way, on video. H Money, you gotta start eating some meat and lifting some weights, man, because you look like you're lacking nutrients in there, man. I'm just saying. I mean, and by the way, he says he went.
Yeah, and you said and H Money, if that's you, bro, and you talking about you want to fight me, bro, I wouldn't fight you. That would be murder. I would feel bad beating you up.
I don't even know. But I don't even know if that's actually.
If I put my hands on H Money, where I grew up at, people would just look at me and shake their heads like, man, why you gotta hit that?
I don't blame them. The way you're talking about there, man.
By the way, I don't think that's. I don't know if that's an actual alternate H Money account from him. I think it's might be somebody else because I know the way he writes. He's very autistic in his writing, and this one sounds like he's got a bit more personality to it. So I don't think that's H Money with another account. I just actually think that's somebody who made up an H Money account.
Yeah.
So that to you. So McGregor, you were saying
Honcho Head.
What was that?
Head Honcho.
H Money against Honcho Head or Honcho Head, whatever his name is.
Honcho.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, what about him?
H Money versus I'm gonna back you up. I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, H Money.
I want to say this guy. Oh, this guy. He sounds like he's eating up some Skittles. Oh.
Yo, that video you showed me of him. Is it me or that dude? The dude looked like he had little titties hanging out and shit.
Which guy? Wait, which guy? Which video?
Bucho sent me a video of H Money. I guess that's him. I'm not sure. The dude has no shirt on. He's brown skinned, but he's losing his complexion, and he got titties too on top.
Oh, he's got milkers.
He got titties, man.
How big are his milkers?
This is Echo.
It's Echo. I think it's Gonzalo. Gonzalo, fix your.
Gonzalo, fix
No,
Gonzalo.
it's.
I'm gonna mute him. He
Yeah,
already
you
did.
need to fix that shit, man.
But yeah, but hold on. How big are his milkers, Bucho? Or recognize how big are those?
I don't know. They're like, you ever see those girls with like small tits that basically just got nipples?
Yeah, the mosquito
Yeah,
bites.
he's
Yeah.
something like that. Put it this way, man. That's a guy that he has no business with his shirt off. He looks about 5'3", 5'4", about 130, and it's all fat and like soft.
You know what?
He's fading. His complexion is fading away from him. He looks sick. That's the best way I could describe him.
All right. Well, listen, we're not taking calls today. It's been a long day. We've already been out for 2 hours. We'll do another show to get you guys' predictions on the Prograis versus Taylor super fight, which I am. Listen, every time people come in and say, "Oh, boxing, it's dying, and it's not a good sport." Look at all the fights we've had this year, and all the fights that we still got coming. We still got the Ruiz Joshua rematch, which of course I'm not looking forward to it that much in terms of the action, but I am intrigued with what's going to happen because that's probably the biggest. That and Kovalev Canelo. By the way, how much I haven't. First of all, Canelo Kovalev is already not this Saturday, the next, coming up pretty quick, and I haven't seen a lot of hype for that one. I guess on
I
fight week.
mean, we have this, and then the week after we've got Canelo Kovalev, and then 5 days later we've got a new. We had Usyk debut at heavyweight. Just a week before that, we had Golovkin and we had Spence Porter. Boxing's looking pretty good at the moment. It really is.
It's not looking as good as Ryan Garcia on Instagram right now, but yes, I do agree. It's looking.
I
pretty...
disagree with you. You need to bow your knees and suck the cock of the boxing gods.
Exactly.
You need to cleanse your soul, Mr. BDA. Cleanse your soul.
Pledge your soul and clench your sphincter.
My soul belongs to Jesus Christ, and that's about it. I'm not dabbling in anything else. By the way, we're talking about Prograis versus Taylor, which is the fight that I suppose everybody's going to be watching. But guys, remember, those of you in North America, this fight is in the UK, so it's going to be taking place at 5 p.m. Eastern time over here, or whereabouts, or right about that time, I should say. But also on ESPN Plus on that same night, Shakur Stevenson takes on undefeated Joed Gonzalez. Josh Greer, who seems to be creating a bit of a name for himself, is going to be taking on Antonio Nieves, who, he got butchered by Inoue, but he tried to put up as good a fight as he could. So check that one out. Also on Showtime finally making a comeback, and they have a fight that might be the under the radar fight for this
Granados versus Easter Jr.
I was talking about Erickson Lubin versus Gallimore, but yeah, that one too. Robert Easter Jr. versus Granados. That could possibly, unless Robert Easter Jr. gets on his bike like he did against Barthélemy the last fight. But that's a pretty solid card that's going under the radar because of Prograis Taylor. But we got some good boxing coming up. And then the one that Recognize is going to be watching, Wilfredo Mendez versus Axel Aragon from Trujillo Alto, Puerto Rico. So keep your eye on that.
And don't forget, on Friday from Thailand, 53-0, TBE Wanheng Menio. He takes on a dude from South Africa whose name escapes me at the moment.
Wanheng
Menio. And this dude hasn't lost. Meniotham hasn't lost. I'm trying to be professional. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be.
That ship has sailed, man.
All right, T.O. Calm your shit, yeah? I'll get Oscar on your nuts like a sack. Now, Wanheng Meniotham, yeah? He's fighting this South African dude whose name escapes me. 53-0 TBA, not Floyd Mayweather. And on top of that, the dude hasn't lost since losing to Hecky Butler back in 2015. Hecky Butler was on the pound-for-pound list in 2016.
All right, nobody cares about that fight. If they're below 115 pounds, nobody cares about that fight.
Oh my God, look at you. You're talking about that stuff, and yet you talk about Andre Ward.
Listen, you're not going to attack me on my own channel. That's big no. Second of all, Bucho's putting up the results from the Canadian elections. You want to talk about uninteresting stuff? That's about as uninteresting as it gets. Bucho, what are we looking at there? What's going on?
Still in the Atlantic provinces here, but the Liberals appear to be ahead.
The Liberals
What's this blue thing? Bloc Quebecois.
Quebecois. That's the
Oh, you guys go by the parties, right? And whoever wins, that's who's in control of.
Yeah, the leader. Yeah,
you know that. Yeah. I keep forgetting that's how you guys do it over there. I know that's how they do it in. Do they do that? Mark, do they do that in the UK? So is that how it goes too?
Bro, I don't know what's happening in the UK.
Oh yeah, you're from Ireland. I keep forgetting.
No,
They're
you
leaving.
yeah, so-
Those dudes are leaving. As far as I'm concerned, Brexit. Good luck when you go into slavery, boys.
Did you guys see that that woman? I think she's a BBC reporter or something, and she tweeted something that's along the lines of, I was talking to my 8-year-old daughter the other day, and she said that she and her friends will no longer refer to Brexit as Brexit. They're going to call it white noise because it's the same thing that a radio signal does when there's too much clutter on it. And then she says, even children know. And everybody started calling her out on Twitter saying, that never happened. Stop making shit up. And then people started making fun of her saying, oh yeah, I had the same conversation with my fetus. I had the same conversation with my ballsack. And I'm thinking this whole Brexit thing, just like in the United States with the Trump, which is the liberals and his own party, I mean the Democrats, it's dividing people, man. And that's not what that's not what we're about here at BDA. We're about building bridges, building up communities, and really getting everybody together through the power of Jesus Christ. So that's what I'm proud of on this channel, what we've accomplished so far. And some people don't agree with that. We've had to kick some
Praise be
people.
to our Lord and Savior.
That's right. Thank you. We've had to kick some people off the show because they are really way too toxic and, at the end of the day, stupid. But nevertheless, we still love them because they are creatures of God, and God said to love each other the same way that we would love each other, or ourselves rather. So
it's not gonna happen, Jesus. I apologize.
And also remember this, Dan Brown. If I ever see you, you're getting it.
That's
Don't
right.
speak about the Blessed Mary Magdalene that way.
That's right. Go get him, McGregor. Go get him.
I don't know who you are, Dan Brown, but watch your back.
Yeah, you don't want to know who he is. He's a blasphemist. He's a dirty person who makes up lies and tries to make money off of it.
Danny Brown.
And then he gets Ian McClellan to play the lies in the movie.
Exactly. A sodomite, by the way. He tries to get a sodomite involved. That should tell you all you need to know about what he thinks of religion. Anyway.
You tell him, Mr. BDA.
No, you tell him. Otherwise,
you sodomites are destroying society as we know it.
Recognize. Do a what's it called? Vinny Mac impression. Yeah, Vinny Mac impression again.
Hello, Bucho. Hi,
okay,
Mr. BDA.
That sounds creepy, man. What the fuck?
Get Revolution
to recognize how you.
Okay, recognize. That's a great impression, but I'm here to call out actually Mr. LSD, who said something egregious on the last show that I'm here to straighten up, because I am here to take names.
BDA, you're gonna let him talk like that to your Vinny Mac?
Well, have you ever noticed? I don't know if I should defend him, because every time I try to offer him help and I try to tell him that the offer for me mentoring him is still open, he always seems to be creeped out or something. I mean, that's weird to me. I don't know why.
Sorry for interrupting, Mr. Bucho. But
Mr. Bucho. Yeah.
I have a problem.
Hey, Mr. BDA.
I have a problem with what Mr. Revolution was saying. I don't agree with your background being from Puerto Rico, because that means stabbings are on the up.
Oh.
This is so true, Mr. BDA. Can I tell you another talent of mine? I know how to tell. I can tell the weather. Tomorrow's going to be partly.
What the fuck was that?
You know what's great too about Vinny Mac? That he actually listens to the show and calls in and says, by the way, McGregor, I was listening to your stream, and you said he actually sits down and listens to everybody's content.
Hey, by the way,
I gotta respect him for that. I do gotta. At the end of the day, he's
Thunderdome with your little, Thunderdome. I'd watch your videos more, but they're like 4 hours long. I gotta.
I'm not even gonna joke, man. That's my favorite. I was trying to listen to what you were saying, but it was 4 hours long before you finally got to your point.
McGregor is the one. McGregor is the one that said that he thinks Vinny Mac is actually reverse Lee. But then again, McGregor also thinks that I'm the Cuban guy that calls in all the time. What's his name again? Old Frank? No, Francisco. So
Mr.
I don't.
Pappy.
Pappy.
No, the
No,
Cuban
not
guy.
Pappy. Pappy's from Alabama.
Oh,
Talking
the
about-
weird Cuban guy.
The Cuban guy that
Don
I was
Francisco.
agreeing with him, and he was fucking still tearing me apart, bro.
Well,
He
I
told me
think it's
calm down. He said,
Yeah.
"Listen, I'm like, I agree with you, man."
He was
Yeah,
weird.
calm
So when are
yourself
you
down.
guys gonna pay me to make a fake personality to come on the air to start trolling during the calls? Like,
Yeah, we
so.
don't have money to
Wait. Are
spend.
you saying those guys are fake? That they're playing a prank on us?
And then he's
of course not.
Why would we spend money on that?
Yeah, because that's what they're gonna buy. The actual
Oh.
things that you say. Oh, fuck that. No, we're
Bro.
gonna pay you to do a voice.
Rucho, can you do me a favor?
Alcohol? No, that's out of the question. But
Rucho, can you do me a favor? Can you make Lobito shot glasses and I'll buy like 14 packs?
sure thing.
That's a good one, Lobito shot glasses.
Yeah.
I got a boy who's a glass blower. He listens to the show sometimes.
I bet he is.
I was gonna do it, but you beat me.
There he is, yeah. Who names their kid Glass? Yeah. That guy's get out of your system. All right, you can make goods. I don't know. BDA boxing glove, fucking glass things. I don't know. Menagerie,
Menagerie.
bowls. Anybody out there smoke weed? We'll get you a BDA
lingerie.
bong.
BDA
yeah.
lingerie.
BDA dab nail.
Wait a minute.
You know, any of the big stoners out there.
Yo, you ever hear like people from the old school called crackheads? They call them. Yo, you be
Hold on.
people from the old school call people that crackheads. They call them. They'll say to them, "Yeah." Let's say for instance, "Yeah, I remember John. Yeah, he's still sucking on that glass dick."
Oh.
Also,
That's me.
can I ask a question? Because I heard a rumor, and I'd like Mr. BDA or Bucha to clear this up if it's true or not.
Yes.
Because this will benefit the viewers if it is true. Is there
Alright.
any truth to the rumors that you guys will be bringing in Skype for international calls?
That we will be bringing what?
Skype phone calls in for international calls.
Skype calls, yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get that to work. I mean, listen, there's a lot of shit that goes on. Oh shit, I shouldn't have cursed. A lot of technical things we got to get around here. One of the things that I'm very proud of is that we finally made the move away from Hangouts to Discord, and notice how everything goes smoother now. There's very little interruptions. There's still
I'm
some delay.
disappointed in you, Mr. BDA.
All right, Vinny, you got to stop it.
No, I think that was Mr. Bucha.
Lobito! Shut up.
But the point is,
Yeah, Mr. Libido.
No,
Is
go
that
on.
his name?
Go on, Mr. BDA. Go on. Go on.
well, yeah, all I'm saying is,
Go right the fuck ahead!
okay. Oh, I thought you were being serious, man. What was I gonna say?
Dismissed.
No, I'm not dismissed. I still got a lot left here. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're trying to get calls from overseas calls because right now all we've got is Canada and the United. Now, do we even have Canada, Bucho, or is it just the United States? Bucho, come on.
Canada and the US. The thing is, everybody can call, but the thing is, if you're calling outside Canada and the US, you're gonna pay like really fucking long distance fees. Like,
I actually tried to call in once, and I was on the line for like 7 seconds on hold, and it cost me a euro.
what? That's no.
You know what's
No.
funny? I got this is weird. I got 2 missed calls recently. One was from Cuba, and I'm sure I don't know nobody else. And the other one was somewhere in Africa, and I'm positive I don't know anybody there.
Wait a minute. Maybe it's a long lost bastard calling you. Have you ever been
maybe
to
it's
Africa?
Maybe it's a long lost relative.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, maybe Luis Ortiz caught wind of some of the things I heard.
Yeah, maybe it was.
He was saying.
Revolution. When I saw that phone call, I was like, "Damn, did Luis Ortiz get my number or something?"
Yeah.
Like, fuck
Hey,
out of here.
maybe it was your long lost African cousin. Recognize the Mutumbu.
Yes.
All right. What else? Oh
I
yeah,
want to see
Bucho.
the Wang Gang. I want to see him fight the Wang Gang.
Wang in the bang bang.
You
I wanna
pay.
see the
You
Wang
pay
Gang.
now. You pay extra. You pay now. What was that? Bucho got a phone call from Morocco.
Hurry up and buy.
Hurry up and buy.
Recognize when you go to those what are those Korean delis over in Brooklyn or Queens? Do you buy those cheap plastic flowers that they sell, or you never buy those?
No. I don't buy them. I mean, because they're like really. I'm not saying that I never bought fake flowers, but they gotta look nice at least.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, Butcher, we're about to go, and I see somebody new popped in. Who's this? Is this Apology?
What's up, guys?
The apology.
Oh, okay. We can make some time for Apology. Why not? Sure. How you doing, man?
Apologies in the house.
Yeah, make some time for apology. Yeah, let's keep this going.
Hey, shut up. We're not gonna keep it going for a long time. All right?
Are you not
I'm saying, let's go.
Shut your mouth.
You're unbelievable, man. You're unbelievable, man.
I'm all over the place.
Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally.
I love me some Christian Bale clips, man. All right. Apology. We were just talking about. We were done with the boxing talk. But you know what? Let's get L'Evolution and Apology's prediction before we go. Let's start with L'Evolution, who got here before a little bit.
I don't even know. Yeah, I just got invited. I don't even know what the topic was really. Prediction for was the fight coming up this weekend?
Oh, come on. Prograis versus Taylor.
Yeah, that's right. I've had my head in the clouds lately a little bit.
Prograis
Taylor.
Yeah, I thought you had some.
Well, in regards to boxing.
Have you been sucking? Hold on,
Sometimes I
L'Evolution.
got my head in the boxing cloud. Right now, it's in some other cloud.
L'Evolution, have you been sucking on the glass pipe or the glass stick or what was it? The glass stick.
I believe that he was with a lady friend, Mr. We can't disclose any further information.
All right, let's go. Let's go with the predictions. All right.
Taylor by decision. I'm gonna say unanimous. Nice work.
I'm taking names, Mr. Revolution.
There.
I'm gonna be taking names.
You can take the names. I'm gonna be kicking the asses. Cause guess who? I don't know. Did on the last prediction? Did you guys get my shit on Saturday or Friday for the last fight? Cause I got it right. Vazdik. He was out of there by 10. I nailed it.
I don't
No
know if
pun
that's true or
intended.
not. Can anybody confirm that?
Let's
Oh, there we
confirm it.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I jumped on. I had 2 minutes. Like I had 2 minutes to talk, and you guys had callers and shit.
you're not on the
I
list.
can confirm it that on my show about 2 hours. Now. 2
You're
hours. 2 hours before the fight, he was on my show.
Okay.
He said Beterbiev 10th round.
Holy shit,
right.
Jimmy nailed it. You know that, right? Jimmy said 10th round
Jimmy,
stoppage.
Corruption, and Cameron, and supposedly Revolution.
Yeah,
it was
supposedly.
Revolution. I'll get you the clip from my show.
All right, well, I'll take your word
Oh,
for
and
it.
Revolution.
All right, so
And
And
Revolution.
if you go back in the chat, because I posted it in the chat from the last show.
Listen,
I believe you. I believe you.
I don't.
We believe you, Mr.
Apologies, I don't
Calm
believe you.
down.
That's
I
it.
also predicted 6 through 10, but you made me give an example.
Oh,
And I think Vinnie Mac was right too.
oh
Yeah, I
shit.
think so.
like-
Yeah.
I
Wait,
don't like Mr. Beterbiev. He's really ugly, but I think I'm gonna go with him.
Vinny said
Wait.
better than KO, but
He said that.
no,
He
Yes.
didn't give a round.
he didn't give a
Yes,
round.
apology. He says
So he
that
doesn't like
even
him
the
because
two
he's
ugliest
ugly.
people in boxing are Usyk and Beterbiev.
That's kind of weird. Like you like someone based on their looks. I don't know, man.
He's
Vinny's swinging that way. I mean,
Well,
of course, BDA accepts everyone, but
Apology,
you know,
I'm not here to talk about my sexuality. Apology.
boxing style is the only other guy that picks fights based on how the other guy how the other fighter looks.
Yeah, I saw the six packs. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
But I like how boxing style keeps going after everybody. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's on the panel or on the Discord. He reminds me of that guy that gets drunk and he will fight anybody in a nightclub. I mean, he is on that level, and I respect him for that.
Yo, Precise is wrong. He's just wrong. Mark's okay, you know. But he gets a lot of things wrong too. I recognize. I don't even know what he's saying, so whatever.
It's fucking terrible.
All right,
Yo,
so
hold up, real quick. Recognize, I meant to ask you something. You mentioned a couple shows ago that you could immediately pick out by someone's accent if they're from Connecticut, and I never asked you why. What is that?
Because you guys have a similar accent to us. Because you're from, we're on the same. Same coastline, but you guys have it. It's like in between New York and Boston. You don't have that hardcore Boston. accent, and you don't
Boston.
have that. It's a mid-level accent between New York and Boston. That's the best way I could describe it.
Okay.
The Boston accent. Boston accent. You guys were stealing a couple of
Because
quarters.
I don't hear it. I just speak it. Everybody.
The way you
around me
speak right
sounds
now
like
is exactly how people from Connecticut speak all the time.
I don't even see. I don't hear it. I don't.
Yeah, I don't hear you either, man. I think you're making.
I could tell you're from New York, no doubt.
It sounds, you know what it is?
I
It sounds
recognize that I
like
kinda
Recognize is
sound like
making
you.
it up, man. It sounds like Recognize is making all this crap because I can't even. To me, it just sounds like an American accent. That's how I would call it. I don't even.
No, it doesn't. I can tell the difference.
No, West Coast. Like if you listen to people from the West Coast, they sound like look at Gypsy. Gypsy is a West Coast person. They talk very relaxed. No. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
Are you saying? Wait a minute. Hold on. Are you saying between the lines? Are you calling him a retard? Is that what you're saying?
No, I love California, but he is a retard. Yes.
Oh no!
No,
Hold
but
on.
dude, they do talk very relaxed in the way. They're all like, "Yo, how's it going, man? My name's Blake. I come from Anaheim, California."
Anaheim.
Which isn't. It's obviously Anaheim, California of the United States of America, not to be confused with Anaheim, California of Southern Sudan. What's up with Americans doing that, naming their fucking city and state, and then saying United States of America? What's up with y'all saying that?
I know that.
Like, what's the point? Yo, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from America,
Queens,
not to be confused with the Brooklyn, New York, and Dublin, Ireland.
I'm from Queens, represent Long Island City, New York.
There's a Brooklyn, Connecticut.
Nobody cares about
Connecticut. Of the
man.
United States of America, fam. Like, what's the point in throwing that in? We all know it's not going to be a fucking, like, it's not going to be of Hong Kong.
No one knows Brooklyn, land. No one
I'm
knows
from Queens in Hong Kong. That's what
I'm from Columbus, Ohio, bro.
Recognize.
Of the United States of America, not to be confused with the Brooklyn, Ohio.
Recognize. You're the master of accents. How about doing a little Americana for us? How about the Boston accent?
The who?
Boston accent.
Oh man, that's kind of hard.
Well, there you go already.
Kind of hard, you know.
Kind of hard.
I used to take these cars and go on the joyride. It was kind of hard to get away from the cops.
You sound like you're just essentially all you got to do is do a Jimmy impression. I knew this guy back in Boston, and Mickey Ward. When Mickey would go hard, he would go hard. That's all. Essentially, you got to try
really
to do that.
Hard.
He would go hard. He would go hard.
I mean, I knew this guy back in Peabody, and he was banging his chick out in Dorchester.
Dorchester. Are you from Dorchester?
Since you're so good, give an Irish accent.
Hey, you know what? Let's find something out at the same time here. Recognize, do a southern like Alabama accent, and we're gonna try to figure out if you're the one if you're actually old pappy. All right, so like do an Alabama southern accent, whatever.
Alabama,
Texas, Alabama, whatever. One of those.
Well, I'm from Alabama. You know, we all we like to do is like, chill on the park. I can't do an Alabama.
All right, it's okay, man.
Well, you know what?
I don't sound that soft.
Let's get another gringo on this. Revolucion, can you try to do a Texas accent?
Or Alabama accent?
Or Alabama, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. Yeah, we kind of just talk a little slow down there.
There you go. That's how they talk. Oh, no, I got one. This is how we talk. You know what I'm saying? We from Alabama. That's how we talk, yo. We talk like this, yo. What you mean? We talk like this, man. I'm from Alabama, dog. Yo, listen, dog. I'm from Alabama. You know what I mean? Like Alabama.
Let me try to do.
Why do you both sound ethnic? I would have just assumed it was all hillbillies.
I'll try to do an Alabama accent. I'll try to do it. Hello. No, fuck, I can't do it. You know what? I'm curious.
You from Alabama? Alabama.
Mr. BDA, that's a great bit. Like, if you're a comedian, all right, I have an impersonation. Hello. No,
yeah,
never mind.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. By the way, I wanted to get
BDA, do a white man voice.
Yeah, okay. Well, one of the things that you have to understand about economics is that the general economic route is actually
He
pretty
sounds just like himself. Perfect.
Really?
Hey, we always knew you were in Mexico. down in South.
The guy, guys, the quacks. He's saying California and Florida have the same accent.
In a way, Florida is like, yeah, no. There's a little bit of a difference.
I get the difference because I've heard it. Like Californians sound. I'm gonna sound really horrible saying this. They slightly sound homosexual. Most of
come on.
But the
I mean, it's California, so
most of the people in Florida that I've heard have sounded like they want to give it a try, but they just don't know how to accept it. So they sound like they have like this inner turmoil going on about who they are, whereas Californians have perfectly accepted that Hollywood has taken over.
Hey, by the way, hold on a second. This whole thing is turning into a fucking BDA accent show. We gotta go, and we haven't even gotten Apology's prediction yet. All right, so Apology, give us your prediction and do it in a Southern British accent, whatever the heck that might be.
Well, what he's doing is a Southern British accent.
Do it in
Shut up! Don't
Tyan
contradict me.
Booth's, accent.
Don't contradict me, McGregor. What are you doing?
It's Sheffield.
Apology, are you there? He's probably sniffing
Hello?
a seat at the gym. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Hello?
Apology, we need your prediction.
Before I do that, real quick, can I just give my take on the Vostik Peterbiev?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to change my prediction, but I just stuck with it because corruption convinced me that Peterbiev is a lot more solid and will win the fight, and he was right along with Cameron and Jimmy. I just felt like Vostik just looked poor in this last fight and only steps up against Stevenson, who was also like really old and doesn't have the same style that Peterbiev does. And Peterbiev just looks really strong. He came in, he implemented his game plan while nullifying Vostik's game plan and walked him down, cut the ring off, and eventually stopped him. And I hope we finally get to see that Kovalev Peterbiev fight, but probably not.
Apology, can you try to do an American accent, like a generic American accent?
Alright, I'll try.
Alright, please.
I'm from Alabama. From Alabama. No? That was terrible.
What the fuck was that? You sound like you were singing. We could have put some beats to that, and I'm from Alabama. I'm blah, blah, blah.
Is that what we sound like to you?
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Last thing, McGregor.
I'll try Florida.
No, but okay. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
BDA. I really hate this.
Oh, you sound like a gay guy, man. Come on, you're not even trying, man.
I mean, it's Florida, sir.
Oh, it's absolutely
He did sound
flawed.
like he hadn't accepted being gay.
McGregor, can you try to do a generic?
BDA.
Alright, stop it. You're creeping me out,
We
man.
gotta use that as a soundbite.
Man.
Yeah.
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down right now.
Can I try to what accent?
McGregor, I want to see if McGregor, because he's got that heavy Irish accent, I want to see if you can actually try to get rid of it and just speak like a generic American.
A generic American?
Yeah, without an Irish accent, Doctor?
Guess that's what you guys think of us, huh?
Alright, so I need to lose brain cells first.
Oh.
Wow. Jesus.
So, how do I do this? So I was just sitting right here one day, you see, and my girl Ethel, she came right up to me with the raccoon, right?
Oh,
and she's
that's actually
like,
pretty good.
"Hey Jimbo, I'm gonna hand this over to you right now, see, so that we can have dinner." And I didn't know what she was talking about, so I shot her right between the eyes.
Oh.
And next thing, I was having raccoon, and they called me an Uncle Tom.
Well, you know what?
Oh,
you know what I think?
From Oklahoma.
Yeah, yeah, he started out like southern and then moved more to from the east southern part there, Oklahoma. I actually think you're old Pappy. Now I figure it out. You're old Pappy.
Yeah.
That makes
You gotta
sense.
keep the weaves away, see?
Okay, say this. Say, well, this old Pappy from the south. Go ahead and say that. I want to see if it's you.
Well, this old Pappy from the south, see?
Oh, yeah, it's Mark.
Yeah, I think it is. Now we've just confirmed it.
Yeah, because I'm calling in from Alabama.
I knew it.
I knew it
This
too.
whole time.
That's right. All right, apology.
Right.
Prediction time, baby, for the Prograis Taylor fight.
Come on.
All right.
Do it in Taiwan Boots, whatever his fucking name is, accent. Do it like that.
Oh, come on.
Who?
Wang Hang.
No, the thing is, Raj.
Do it! Do it! Do it!
Wait, hold on. I have to,
Come on!
you know, get ready for it. What is it? South.
Right the fuck ahead.
I'm from South London. All right, and this is my prediction.
Do you think I'm
That's
gonna have
horrible.
that?
That's terrible.
Do you think I'm gonna have that? Do you really think I'm gonna have that, you ponce?
All right, listen. Come on. Prediction time. We gotta
Okay.
go.
Sounds like Bucho a little bit.
Is it your fucking prediction?
Oh man.
Oh, come on, let's go.
Yes, it was easier before, but after we watching the Branchik fight, Taylor looked very basic and open. You guys have to remember this guy only has like 14 fights and he's still developing. He was getting cowered by Branchik, who's a come forward basic fighter. He's not a counter puncher. And that worries me going into the Prograis fight. And Prograis has fast counters and he's very sharp. But the thing about Prograis as well, he also gets hit a lot. So it's just like, who's going to hit who first?
Mm-hmm.
I really think Taylor just has enough. You know, he's good in the range, he throws good body shots, and he throws some feint. So I think Taylor just has the more pedigree, but I'm worried because in the Branchik fight, like, he was getting beat up. No, he was doing well. Obviously, he got the knockout, he got a win, but against a guy basically like that, you shouldn't be getting counter punched. He telegraphs his punches, he slaps a lot, and that could spell trouble if you go into a guy like Prograis who he will bring it and he will, you know, slowly break you down to the body, to the head.
You
and
know
I think Taylor, this might be controversial, so real quick, I think Taylor should fight on the front foot and not box. But that's just me personally.
That's a good point that you brought up about the feints too. We didn't even talk about that. The feints. Who feints better? And I think it's. Jeez, I think it's Taylor, but just by a little bit, By the way,
Prograis does more like head feints, like, you know, up down head feints. Taylor feints with like his hands and his feet.
he sounds like he fights like a chicken. That's what I like Roy Jones a little bit. So okay, so what's your prediction then? Let me just see if Butcher wrote it down. No, he hasn't written it down.
I'm going Taylor unanimous decision.
All right, so that seems to be the consensus right there. The only one who's going with Prograis is Cameron, and he's saying majority decision. So I don't know.
I think Prograis will need a stoppage to win in the UK on a matchroom.
Yeah. I think that's what most people think.
People who talk shenanigans, it's just a real part of the sport. The home fighter has the advantage.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some hijinks.
You need to remember, like, a lot of these tickets sold, like, for O2 up in Scotland, like, over 11. Like, they're coming down to support their boy, and Scottish good hype about Taylor.
That's a good point.
I think Prograis is gonna bottle.
Yeah.
Let me do
I think Taylor should fight a lot more. He does his best work when he's on the front foot, throwing hard punches and fighting. I don't like when he's on the back foot, you know, trying to box, throwing his jab. He looks horrible, and he telegraphs his punches a lot. So you shouldn't do that.
Hey guys,
either come forward and take out Taylor, Prograis. I mean,
a good point.
Mr. BDA, I got a message from the YouTube algorithm, and the YouTube algorithm says that you used the majority of your slots for tonight. So if you want to be able to stream again this week, you'll need to go off air.
We'll need to go off the air.
Yeah, if you want to be able to stream again this week.
I see.
It's according to the YouTube algorithm, guys. In other words, that's a way of me saying that these guys have been trying to leave for...
Exactly. Yeah, we've been trying to leave for the past 41 minutes. Now, seriously, listen. We're playing some peaceful Irish music here because somebody got it wrong with the Scottish music before. So we've
Will
got
I sing over it?
What is that?
Yes,
That's recognized eating potato chips.
exactly.
Real quick plug. What, Trivia TKO this week? Thunderdome and Jimmy?
What's going on? What's going on with the sounds on this show, man? I'm getting. First, it's the accent.
That's all the potatoes I was eating.
All right, guys.
What's going on here?
Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed though? Right?
The thing is, Jimmy is now responding to my messages, replying, but now it's Thunderdome who I don't know where the hell he is.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's been.
Do me a favor. Play the Irish music. I'll sing over and sing us out.
Go ahead.
Get the hell out. Peace, y'all.
Hold on a second. Trying to find something that's Irish here. It says Irish music and they're playing like Lord of the Rings music or something. It's not Irish music. What is this? This is
copyrighted by playing some shit like that.
It says copyright free, so.
Okay.
Sounds like a video game here.
All right, let's. That's it.
All right, we gotta end it. Oh, there we go.
I'll sing us out.
I used to go to Ireland on a big Russian ship. I used to.
I'll sing us out.
Kill your boys first. I'm not gonna keep the kill.
All right, that's about as good a point to end it there.
Oh
boy.
I'll sing us out.
That's by the way. That's when we're Bucho. You want to say that now before we go, or you want to wait for the announcement later when we're gonna have a little field trip for the Ruiz Joshua fight?
Yeah. Let's just say we'll be going on a little trip.
That's just what I said. Anyway, listen. The point is, we had a good show here. We had the predictions for Saturday's fight. Now, you guys remember, you can still change your prediction between here and Saturday. So whether you go on McGregor's show or on Cameron's show or on Thunderdome's show or Johnny Boy's show, we'll keep an eye on that, an ear on that rather. And
what about my fucking show?
I just said
no one cares.
Show.
That's why.
Apology, just.
Apologies, I'm grumpy today.
Sorry, Mark. Apologies, I'm fired.
Yeah, I'm ill. I had too much to
I didn't
eat
hear
today.
what you said. Do you want to repeat it?
I said your show is very, very lovely, and we should all go on it.
No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said.
Somebody tell me what he said.
I did say that. Why don't you believe me?
Because you're British. What did he say?
Because I'm black.
Yeah, that would have been better, man. That would have been better.
Sometimes you don't sound like you're kidding. You know, there's a lot of people around. I mean, I'm only kidding with you. We're having a party. I mean, I just came home. I haven't seen you.
That's all I'm doing.
This is what he said.
I'll take every one of you sorry pieces of trash on.
I can't have it.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, I can't do it, Henry. You know, can't do it.
Come on, let me sing this out.
Oh, hell yeah. If you want to hear me, give me a hell yeah.
Well, you sound like an old man when you try to do an American accent apology. That's really creepy, man.
Yeah, I know.
The hell is that? That's really interesting, man.
Mr. BDA doing an Alabama accent.
Stone Cold.
Hello?
Stone Cold. That's me, Stone Cold.
But apology
You
when
know,
he
the
tries.
thing is about this Joshua Taylor and Prograis fight.
What the heck was that accent? Anyway, listen. We'll continue the accent. You know
We'll
what?
go Josh Taylor.
Instead of doing a trivia TKO show or whatever, we should do a accent show. Who can pull off the better foreign accent? An accent that's not natural to that person. Obviously, I think Recognize will win because he's a
I'll win the second I do Filipino.
Jesus, what is that accent?
That sounds like
I'll win the second I do Filipino.
Shut up! Shut up!
The one gang. I want to root for one gang. One gang.
All right, so listen, fellas, that's about it. Thank you for being on the show. Really, I mean, it was a great show, except for all the talk about certain tribes that might or might not get us banned from YouTube. But other than that, it was a great show. Excellent predictions.
Can I sing us out?
What's that?
Can I sing us out with Irish Rebellion music?
Next time. We'll keep it on the next time. All right.
I want to say peace to the chat, peace to the channel, peace to everybody in the chat except 100% X and Little Monkey. Go fuck yourself, both of you.
Okay, you know what? Jeez. All right. That's
I
recognized.
apologize. You know, it's a family show.
But sometimes you don't sound like you're kidding. Recognize it. Was that?
Can I say my goodbyes too as well?
Yes, please.
I'd like to say thank you to everyone in the audience for listening to the show for the entire duration. Easy, and it was highly. And I would also like to thank Mr. BDA for leading us on the right journey towards Christ.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I thought you were going to say something insulting like recognize, but no. You showed some real Irish class right there. All right. Want to give a shout out to Chris K and John Gonzalez for their contribution with the super chat. I also want to thank Apology. I want to thank Recognize, McGregor, Cameron, Gonzalo. I was going to say John Gonzalez, but shout out to John Gonzalez too in the channel. Shout out to Gonzalo, who was here also as well. And also want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Everybody who listened and everybody who commented. Pete, Ness, Transnational, The Quags, Galero de la Info, Triple JJJ, Seamus Carey, The Quags, Weed Degree, Sin Amasia, shout out to Sin, SSB28, Hawker Mustang, The Fight Scout, Overhand, or who else have we got here? James Doherty, June 1 Shaq, many more. Box 88. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody. Oh, Galileo the Info, I already mentioned him. Cachnello giving my fight was in there as well. I'm trying to do an American accent here. Really try to emphasize more of the vowels. Matthew Anderson. Thanks to Matthew Anderson. You know, that sounds more like a standard radio voice. Hey, if you want to win tickets to Pearl Jam, call into 811-584. Who else was here? Apology Man, Reality Voice, and anybody else that I missed. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next one, folks. And don't forget to leave your predictions in the comment section. All right, that's about it. Thanks, folks. Catch you in the next one. Take it easy. I forgot to thank Revolucion too. He was here as well.